Hello and good morning. Hopefully you're hearing audio. I believe I got things set up correctly. How are you two doing? There's there's 4 of you in the chat now. That's pretty cool. Hi Trash Panda. Thank you for being first today. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Welcome to the pre-show. Welcome to the first 45 minutes where it's just for, well, a little less than 45 minutes because I'm a little late today. But the beginning when it's just for you guys. This portion, for those of you that are watching in the future, the first little bit of this video is specifically for all of my patrons, the people who keep the lights on here, the people that make this channel possible. So thank you guys very much. Really appreciate everything that you do because you do a lot. You inspire us and you feed us. You know, emotionally and creatively and with everything but the ability to speak. So thank you. That's all. That's all it's supposed to be is thank you.
I guess the Odin puppet's malfunctioning.
Oh, God. So what was it? First days of Disneyland problems. Let's go down a little tiny rabbit hole that I thought was the funniest story. It wasn't like first days at Disneyland, I guess. This was the Hall of Presidents. The Hall of Presidents, I don't think was open in 55. I think that opened up a little later. But they set up a whole series of the founding father presidents at Disneyland. They were all animatronic, would move and do things. And they were hydraulic, because that's the way they did it at the time, right? Yeah. Brute force technology. You use hydraulics for everything.
That's pretty smooth, though, you know?
Usually,
considering the technology previously.
Yes, cable control is way better.
It's not the worst, okay?
All right, it's not. But what happened was the presidents are going through the recorded speeches, welcoming everyone to the Hall of Presidents, and then at some point everyone stops and Lincoln gets up out of his chair and starts addressing the audience, right? This is just the mechanic routine Lincoln's supposed to go through. Well, it's brand new. Lincoln sprung a hydraulic leak. And not only was Lincoln losing pressure, which meant he kind of started slumping over and ultimately sat back down, but hydraulic fluid traditionally is kind of a maroon reddish color, so you can identify it from all the other fluids when it's leaking off of a forklift. So the reviews were like, they even had Lincoln getting shot! Disneyland ordered and to this day still uses clear hydraulic fluid.
In my head, I was imagining antifreeze, like that bright neon,
yeah,
you know, like colored
cool,
fluid.
right?
But red, okay, but
no, it's kind of a bright red. It's not blood red at all. It's like Kool-Aid or fruit punch kind of a color.
But Disneyland red.
But Disneyland red, yeah. It's like he just starts leaking because it's soaking through his clothes. I guess I left that detail out, right? Inside, he's leaking. It's soaking through his clothes. The audience can see it. He starts slumping down into his chair because he's losing pressure. Yeah. Death at Disneyland. We could do a whole podcast on Death at Disneyland, which could get real dark because at least that one's animatronic because there's Disneyland goes out of the way to pretend that doesn't happen.
Right. I wonder if that happened before or after The Great Mouse Detective because I'm not sure when that came out because they have an animatronic.
Right. My thought that could be very wrong is that it was before because Great Mouse Detective is kind of mid 80s, right?
Yeah.
And I think the Hall of Presidents was early 70s.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Those of you out in internet land. No, I'm not a historian.
Or Google.
Yeah, Google, Defunct Land. That's a great YouTube channel. You know, I'm sure someone out there will let us know. Let's see who is all here because people are talking to us. Trash Panda chimes in with first baby. Hello, Trash Panda. So for today, for us, today is Sunday, and it's not even noon yet. For Trash Panda, he's getting ready to go to work because it's Monday in Australia.
Oh, I'm not ready for that yet.
No, I'm not ready for that yet. That's jumping ahead. I'm missing the whole day. Jerry Prox says second. You're here, Jerry. It's cool.
Second
a lot of fun.
The best, third the nerd, fourth. I don't know. I remember. You know.
No, I don't know these.
First the worst, second the best, third the nerd. No.
No, I don't know these.
Things that children tell each other that's awful in the school line. I don't know. No.
There's been plenty of things that said that was awful at school. But that was one that didn't happen to me.
No. First the worst.
Okay. No.
Okay.
No. It was always weird because the last name of Abbott, I was always first on roll call.
Oh, okay.
To the point that college stories, you know, we're sitting down and the professor's like, okay, I'm going to do a roll call, so I just called out here. And it's like, oh, that's great. Let's just wait for the names to come in. Oh, okay, sure, I can wait. I was like, oh, Abbott, here. Anyway.
Unless you've gotten in a class with an Aaron.
Which only happened once. My entire school career only happened once. I had one class in elementary school with an Aaron, and that was amazing. That's when I finally realized Aaron had 2 A's, like aardvark. William Connors apparently is Third the Nerd.
Third the Nerd. I love it.
Jonathan Wiesner, hello! Kara Skywalker, hello! Kara, glad you're here. And Trash Panda singing back with Good Morning Clue. Jerry Prop says, explosive Lincoln. No, that was the Matrix, right? When the car slipped over with those old Lincolns. Maybe they weren't. Those were something else.
I wouldn't say explosive. It's leaky Lincoln.
Leaky Lincoln, yeah.
Lincoln's from a leak.
Unlinked Lincoln. Okay, so there's a cross cosplay for it. Kara, you need to put together some Hyrule Warrior clothes with a black tailcoat and a stovepipe hat and the beard, and you could be Link-un. Anyway, it's bad. It wouldn't work. Jerry Prop says, I was always first on roll call too with the last name of Ayres. 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 Ayres? I don't know. I always butcher poor Jerry's name. Jerry, I think you were sending another package. I've got the notification slip of go to the window and get it from the clerk. Of course, whenever I get to the post office, the clerks aren't there. So hopefully Joe's going to grab it first thing tomorrow morning.
So, eventually.
Eventually. Hopefully I'm going to have Trash Pandas. Hopefully I'm going to have time to chime out after the pre-show. Got a long ride ahead of him today. However, my boy Dorian will be taking over. Let me know if he steps out of line. Oh, Dorian. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll be all fine. Alrighty. So, we've gone through the standard basics. Oh, by the way, Toby and Bruno were here today. They're oh, look at that.
Toby's back there.
Toby's behind us, but Bruno's looking at my hand because I called it the wrong one. There we are.
There's the Bruno.
Swat, 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 swat.
Yeah, you can see.
Swat, 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 swat. Right. Wagging his tail. So Bruno is here.
Yeah, now he's here.
Now he's coming over to see us.
Yeah, because we called him.
Yeah.
He knows his name.
And I tapped the thing because my hand had to be in the same spot that he was lying. There we go.
There we go.
So, how was your 4th of July?
Explosive!
Explosive! Like Lincoln?
I thought he was leaky.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
It was nice. There was lots of fireworks.
Okay.
Really close to my house.
Yes.
Really. I was pretty jumpy. Bruno normally doesn't get jumpy on the 4th of July. He actually kind of goes up to fireworks. He likes sparkles. So we have to kind of hold on to him. But Toby hates this entire month.
I bet, because this entire month is explosive.
Right, and he goes and keeps the bathroom pretty secure.
Oh, good. Okay.
Gets in the bathtub, hunkers down, and he doesn't move for an entire evening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I've seen that behavior for different reasons. I grew up with a Saint Bernard, and the groomers, whenever he would go in to have to deal with, he wouldn't get groomed. It was like this wash, whatever thing. Mm-hmm. They would finally coax him into the tub, but when it was all over, he just lay down in the tub and refused to move. It's like, no, you got to get out of the tub now. More than once, Mom had to go back and help get Grizz, the Saint Bernard grizzly bear, Grizz, out of the tub.
I believe it. Toby does not enjoy tub time, but he definitely will hop out as soon as I let him.
Okay.
But he enjoys towel time afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So that's always the
that's
incentive.
That's all him time.
Mm-hmm. It's just, pet me!
Pet me! You're all focusing on me!
Yep. So.
Awesome.
They were a little stressed out. Like, Bruno got a little scared. Like I said, there were fireworks, like, right over my house. Like, all directions.
I was here that night, and yeah, there was tons of aerial fireworks, which is illegal in California, and there were some going off practically across the street from the building here. It's like, what
Isn't that Cal Expo?
Yeah, but Cal Expo, which they're not doing anything because it's still post-COVID, right? So they didn't have a show. No, I mean, guys were setting up in the parking lot just on the other side of the freeway here, launching things into the air.
I believe it. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
I'm surprised that we are all in one piece.
Yes, thankfully. My house didn't burn down. The building here didn't burn down.
Yes. There's no fires around that I know of, and that is a good thing.
This is a good thing.
Yes, there was an earthquake, though.
There was an earthquake.
That was, like, crazy. There was actually, like, close to 20. in the area, but the one we
Right.
felt was the one up in the Stockton Fault or something like that. I don't know.
I think the Stockton Fault was a false reading. It was it was up in Smith Valley, so it was right between. It was south of Lake Tahoe, kind of in the border of Nevada and California, so right in the middle of the Sierra Mountains.
Yeah, I don't know. I've lived here and lived through lots of earthquakes, but I
Right.
never noticed them, and that was the first one I ever noticed. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
that's not a car going by. That's not like.
No, and it was long for an earthquake. It was long.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets to play with earthquakes because there's plenty of places in the world where the ground's stable. I was standing at the desk here, working on stuff, and I was balancing on one foot, giving the other foot kind of a break, and all of a sudden I felt like I was drinking, or like I was on a boat, kind of. It's like, this is really weird. There's no noise for a train, and then I look up, and I've got a bunch of stuff hanging from the ceiling. I've got some sound-baffled curtains, and I've got all my lights and stuff. Everything was just swinging. It's like, oh, it's an earthquake. And it went on for 12, 15 seconds, which is way long. Usually it's 3, 4, and you're done.
Yeah. Well, we got a train.
We got a train! So it's going to be 110, 112 today. I'm not opening up the hole in the side of the building and letting the heat in. So unfortunately, we're not going to have a train camp today. I apologize, everyone.
No, but you can hear them.
You can hear them.
Yes, we'll appreciate them that way.
But yeah, so no, that was interesting. It ended up being a 6.0, I think. I can't remember how deep it was, but it was in a remote area. So where it happened, there was a rock slide. There was a community nearby, but there was a rock slide and nothing, no casualties, no real property damage, no problem. They just had to clear the road because all the rocks fell.
Yeah.
So pretty ideal for an earthquake in California. We didn't break off and sink.
Yeah, we still have that fault line.
There's a couple of them.
A couple of them. Yes.
Trash Panda yells out, Bruno Butt. Carl Skywalker heading out to see Black Widow. Have a great stream, guys. Have a good movie. I saw that Friday. It was fun.
I am going to grab some paper.
Okay,
Do you
grab
have
paper.
brown paper?
It's over here by the bandsaw.
Okay.
That dark brown paper?
Don't need a huge piece.
Okay, don't need a big piece.
But I'm just grabbing a white piece of paper, and that's not good for camera.
Nope. I mean, it works fine. It just blows out. My camera can't see it.
Yeah. So should we tell people what we're building?
Sure. What are we building?
Well, working in the costume shop, one of the most requested superheroes for ladies, everybody wanted to be Wonder Woman, and I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted her costume. They just wanted the accessories.
Nobody wanted to wear the one-piece bathing suit costume?
No.
Okay.
We had that for years, and it never rented, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it.
Right. The classic, like, Linda Carter, Golden Age. Okay.
Yes. No, it never rented.
Wow.
But the accessories rented all the time, and then mixed up with different skirts and tops and bottoms and Wonder Woman apparel.
Okay.
The accessories went all the time, because everybody wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Nobody wanted to wear a swimsuit. But
All right.
I thought that would be a fun challenge to finish each of her props
Oh, okay.
in a live stream.
All right.
Start to finish.
Right.
Pattern to finish.
Pattern to finish. Okay.
But the first one's easy, because if we start from head to toe,
Okay.
is the crown.
Is the crown. Right.
Yeah.
Which you were trying to remember what the term was. And because it's a crown, it's a tiara, and there was one other term you were trying to remember.
Yeah. I don't know how you pronounce it, because I read it when I first saw the word.
That would be me
And then
too.
it was pronounced by British people, so I don't know if it's correct or not after that.
Okay.
So diem or diem or,
Oh, okay. DM or diem. Somebody let us know by spelling it out.
I've read more than I've ever said.
Damn.
Damn. Diem. The fancy word for tiara.
Fancy word for tiara. Hello, Lee. I get it. I need a haircut too. But thanks for saying hi. Lee dropped by Luddicon when I was there, and he brought Gonzo with him, so that was kind of cool. But I was super busy, so I didn't get much of a chance to talk to him. But Gonzo waved. Gonzo the Muppet, by the way. We have a friend named Gonzo as too, but this is actually Lee's Gonzo Muppet.
Okay,
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying...
No, it's the Muppet, the chicken lover, Gonzo. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, continue. I interrupted you. We were talking about starting to make her tiara, her crown, her headpiece.
That's a piece of foam with a star on it.
Yes, it is. Are we doing, so this isn't the DC Zack Snyder or Wonder Woman crown, where you want to do the...
I want to do classic comic book.
Cool.
Like
we could almost do this out of the gold poster board.
Kind of a thing, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, just original Wonder Woman.
Yeah. All right.
So we need to get a reference photo.
Okay.
And then we need to pattern her tiara. But then I figured next week we could do her cuffs. And
Cool.
then we could go to all of her accessories.
Okay, so there's like the belt piece, or
Yeah.
is the belt considered? Okay.
Yeah. So tiara, cuffs, breastplate, belt, and we could do lasso of truth, but
It's a rope.
it's a rope.
It's a golden rope.
I was gonna use a yellow measuring tape, but
Right. Okay. We can get a golden rope from a
right,
Yeah.
just buy a cord.
just buy a cord from a fabric shop. All
Yeah,
right.
so, and then the boots, they have such good boots out that
Yeah,
you don't
those-
and they even have good boot covers that it's just like it's cheaper just to buy it done.
Yeah.
But her accessories of the crown, cuffs, breastplate, and belt, those ones
Okay.
I think would be really fun to make out of.
Sure. Now, many years ago, I made a set of this for a friend, and I cut it out of sheet brass.
Right?
Yeah, and she didn't mind the fact that the way the belt is shaped, it had a little spike that came up and a little spike that went down.
So if you sit down, it's like
it's
stabbing. Yeah.
Yeah. It forces good posture, and she like corsets, so that all worked for her. But
Yeah, no.
yeah,
There are very much
very much.
reality issues in making it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
But I thought that it would be fun to just make finished product from start to finish with
Okay.
whatever we got here.
Cool. We want to make this so it fits you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's, yeah.
All right.
Unless you want it.
No. I'm sure you'll make a fine Wonder Woman. I'm sure I'd make a fine Wonder Woman too, but
Yes, so that's what I figured we could do. And then I figured on the Patreon part of the live streams, we could do the pattern.
Okay.
And then by the time we go live, we can get it finished, cut out, foam, painted, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that's doable in that time frame?
I think that's doable because we're talking about cutting out basically a slight arc of a piece of foam that's got a peak, putting a star on it, painting it up, and gluing a bit of stuff, elastic or something to it.
Yeah. It's really simple. Well, it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You still have to do it.
So have to do it. Okay. I would think, especially to keep it thin, and so the backside is looking a little better. Let's use 4mm wet the foam.
Okay.
Just so I've got 6mm HD foam. I don't have any 4mm HD foam. So I got 6mm HD foam, which is the light gray stuff.
Okay.
That would work fine, and that's but the 4mm would just be thinner, and it's black, and the black will look better under gold, I think.
I like all those points, so
Okay.
works for me.
All right.
I won't argue with that.
Sweet. By the way, patrons, if you if you guys want to try and work with What the Foam, look up Cosplay Apprentice. I think it's cosplayapprentice.com. That's the company that makes What the Foam, and they have factory seconds available on their website. Because What the Foam was officially available through Amazon. Well, the factory seconds puts it at a very competitive price with HD foam, which I appreciate. And you can get the big rolls from them, and the big rolls that they have are like 2 rolls of HD foam put into one. And there's still
love
a
secret
little
deals
more.
like
Oh
that.
yeah, it still costs a little bit more, but it is a tougher foam. It's got a rubber content to it. It's a much more robust foam. So I don't think that the extra $5 is a big deal.
Honestly, I can see that stuff being used as soles of shoes, like slippers, not like...
Yeah.
Like, that stuff's pretty tough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What was I gonna?
Bottom of Spider-Man shoes, that's what I was thinking.
Right, bottom of Spider-Man shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Trash Panda says, "Hey Felicia, I've watched your Fairy Lights dress vid a few times. There's something about the audio in your gentle voice that has a very ASMR feel to it. Keep up the awesome work."
Thank you. I'm very insecure about that, so I appreciate it.
And Jerry Riggs saying, no duct tape tea or coffee this week? We have duct tape coffee and duct tape soda. The duct tape line is fully supported by Odin Makes. Please drink duct tape coffee.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God, that's the instant shit.
Yes! Yeah. Sludge.
Sludge! It's fine. Just
Okay.
I wanted to go with the joke. Alrighty. I guess if we're going to use 4mm, we should use a 4mm ruler.
Yes. Because we found out that fabric rulers,
Yes. There's the whole lines have thickness thing where,
where I would...
right. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I know I want to compare where I would put it to where I would put it. All right. Let's see where it ends up.
All right. Well, I'm putting it. So where do you want it? Like from ear to ear?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay. So ear to ear on this, I'm getting 11 inches.
I got 12.
Yep. I believe that. And it's only 4mm thickness difference.
Yeah, because
Or,
there's the
you know, I could
exterior
be-
of the arc versus the interior of the arc. But
Exactly.
yeah, no, it's interesting because the foam really does mess with your measurements when you're really trying to be precise on sizing.
Yes. So if you're trying to like Mandalorian gauntlets or something, doing this, making a foam ruler and actually measuring, so okay, I've got enough space for my suit and everything else, this really does help. It makes a difference. You're so many less fixes when you think it's going to fit. All right, so 11 inches.
Yes. Well,
Oh, no.
we don't
yeah,
have a
I have-
reference photo.
Oh, fine.
It makes a big difference.
You don't want to just make it up?
No.
Okay. Duct Tape's Beverage Company for all of your nondescript beverage needs. Yes, Trash Panda, exactly.
It's been Greeked.
It's been Greeked. We need to make a sticker.
Well, isn't that what duct tape is?
Well, yes, that's what duct tape is.
No,
but,
I know.
But I meant,
Yeah.
something you stick on your car or something silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Merchandise. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Merchandise. There you go. Eventually.
Eventually. This is actually posted, right? Yeah.
Is it? Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's fine. Just making sure that the patrons can see it.
So if this is 10 inches, and then we start to... Yeah, it can change about 1/4 of an inch depending on how arced it is.
This one.
Yes!
Okay.
Yeah. I think ear to ear would make sense, right?
Yeah, well, it's always covered by our hair.
Exactly. And elastic's more comfortable than foam.
Around the back, yeah, and it's easier to pull your hair over it.
Exactly.
There's no need to have a full... just open image in a new tab.
There we go.
And then we do this one, and open image in a new tab.
Click,
Is that
click,
giving me
click.
yes, it gave me the big one.
Fascinating, isn't it?
This is the best TV ever.
Good thing we're just live.
Right. Okay, so this one I can see the belt a little more. It's just got the point that comes up.
Yeah. It's
Comes up the
one
front,
stab
but
versus the two
It's one
stab.
stab versus two stab. I think the one that I made, my friend, was two stab.
Yeah, but it's also whether you have the eagle or the W. And I
Oh,
kind of
gotcha.
like the eagle.
Okay.
Oh, that one has a W.
This one's a W, but it still has the wings of an eagle. Sort of. It's because it's always been that kind of...
Yeah, it's been that shape and it's been variations of it.
Right, so both of those are the same. Okay, so you want...
What's wrong, Toby?
I still got that. The complete covers. Interesting.
Okay, I thought the one with the eagle was the first one.
I just
Maybe not.
typed in. I didn't type in first.
Oh, yeah.
There was an eagle.
Okay.
Because this appears to be a good lineup of
Various versions of her.
various versions of it. This is modern, a modern comic artist's interpretation, but it's definitely
Yeah.
how
I
her
think the
suit has
W
evolved.
might be more popular, but in my head I was imagining eagle.
Okay.
but
W might be.
We have time
it's-
before we get to that part.
It's got the WW, and we can sidestep the whole, iconography. Maybe, whatever. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. So you gonna order a red top?
I already have a few.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Costumes.
Costumes. All right, good.
Costumes. Yeah.
Ah, Sean Carg is here. Hello. Space for thumbs with those gauntlets too. Yes. J period.
Yes, because you have to reach your hand through.
Right.
When you do measurements for men's wrists, you don't do the actual wrists, you do around the hand
Right.
at this point.
Right. Make if you need them to fit tightly, make your hand as tight as you can go, and then go around.
Like this. Because that is where you would be able to get it in
Right.
without breaking things.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So yes, Jay had just finished making a Mandalorian suit and had an awesome photo shoot.
You can also like hide things
That's
in
the-
joints and seams, you know, like a little bit of elastic or
Mm-hmm.
on and off, you know, but if you don't want to deal with any of that, just take this measurement
Okay.
for your narrowest spot.
Cool. Generated Prop says, odd question, but what is the height of your table? All right. Wow. There we are. A little harder to get to the ruler right now. I got a lot of stuff in the way.
You do?
Yeah, it's got a bunch of pipe clamps back here hanging in front of the ruler. So let me get my 6-foot ruler. The height of this table is 43 inches. So it's a non-standard height. It was the height that when I stood and wanted to drop my hands, this was the resting height that didn't involve slouching in the shoulders or my back.
Yep.
And I really wanted that because I've worked too much on tables. And that sucks.
And that's why I stand on an apple box, because I don't like feeling like I'm at the big kids' table.
Right. I made a table that's a little too tall.
Just a little bit.
Oh. So my apologies, Jerry, but I only have large rulers. I guess I got a 43 is what I said, right? Is that gonna? No. That is greater than a meter. I only have a meter stick, so I can't easily accurately measure that in, real world units, just the bizarre antiquated American ones.
I thought this had... Nope, it's just feet and inches. I thought it was
Yeah.
both. This one has both, but it's just...
That one has both, but it's we have to
Yeah.
dangle it and
It's 60 inches only.
yeah.
Yeah. Figured this is going to be my fold, and then I'd make my point, and then we'd go down to however far it was.
Okay.
Starting with straight lines.
Sure. Straight lines is great. So you're doing a fold. Please explain some of your thought process. Let me go ahead and actually make it go over here. Behind working on your pattern here.
Okay.
You're gonna come this way a little bit. You'll be centered.
So I figured at the widest point of her tiara it'd be about 2 inches, so I just traced my ruler, and then I gave myself a line that's... Toby does not... What is wrong? Oh! Bruno is bugging Toby. He likes to chew on Toby.
Oh, okay.
That's
Are
what's
they-
going on. Yeah.
Are they behaving?
Yeah, they're behaving. It's just... Bruno is licking Toby's poor little booty, and
Ah.
Toby does not like it.
Gotcha. Like I'm taking care of you though, bro. Taking care of you.
Right? I got your butt. I got your butt. So anyways,
All right. So anyways,
I started with about the thickest it probably would be 2 inches in the forehead,
and that's to the peak.
the peak of the thing.
Okay.
And then it'd probably be only about an inch at the band, and so I decided that this was going to be my center front
Okay.
on a fold, if I placed it on a fold.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I didn't want to try and take this and line up my two lines. And
Sounds great.
anyways, I may or may not want to use a fold or whatever, but patterning wise.
The patterning wise, that's fine. I could get that. Now, if you put your line more in the center of the paper, you could fold your paper and still get a full pattern piece out of it.
Yeah, that would have been
Instead-
smart.
Well, you can still put a line.
I still can, yeah.
It's not too late. You haven't cut anything yet.
Nope, I haven't. Problem is I didn't want to try and...
Right.
So I'd rather just use a fresh line.
Well, you got your ruler that you can line up. The whole reason you have clear rulers, you can see where you are.
Yeah.
Can't you just line things up again and draw a line?
Yeah, I can.
Or-
I just, in my
or-
head, wanted to have these lines work, and if they were there.
Okay.
But that's nothing that actually matters, so yes.
Okay.
Got it fold.
Now, is that going to be square? Or square enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a square line.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many times that I've drawn a couple lines in a piece of paper and folded it in half in order to try and make and I end up with a chevron when I cut it.
Yeah, no. I know exactly what you're talking about. But yes, I have my technique on how to fold that I do very quickly
yes,
now.
You
Apparently,
do this
I didn't even realize. But yes, I know what you're talking about, and I did it a little fast.
Okay,
yes,
that's fine.
It is perpendicular to this line, and I can double check with my clear ruler because I know that these lines are lined up as far as I can kind of go. This line's lined up. Feels right to me.
Okay.
And then I have it marked. I'm going to just...
They're poking around. I'm going to get the dogs some treats.
They probably would very much appreciate that. I'm going to do the bottom of this line. And then... And the foam ruler was 11 inches.
The foam ruler was 11 inches.
And half of that...
Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have meat sawdust on the floor where they'll lick it.
Ew.
I don't want them getting anything.
I always add extra, and we always end up pulling it off, so this time I'm not going to add any extra.
That's a good plan. Because there's no need for a seam allowance. It's just a flat piece, and it's not going to have that kind of a seam on it.
No, it's really not. And, yeah, this works for me.
Toby's licking his nose. Come on. There it goes. I have one for you. And so I've got little beef bully sticks. It's dried beef jerky for dogs.
And they appreciate it.
Wait, you can kind of see Bruno's starting to work on his. Toby's hiding his even from the camera. That way none of you at home can take his stick from him. And they will be fully entertained for about 10 minutes.
You want one too?
No. I was just playing. Besides, this one's dirty now. It's got my forehead grease all over it. Trash Panda's asking, how many cat toys tall is that?
I don't know. Does this feel like it's the right...
That
Does it need about a little bit thicker?
I think it needs to be a little bit thicker, and I think you need a little more slope. You might want your hip ruler instead of this.
Or a different part of the circle.
Or a different part of that circle, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, because it might need to be way more sloped like that.
Okay. Well, that's easy enough.
But yeah, try, what are we looking at? For all of you at home that are trying to follow along, come on, there it is. This is an inch tall and 2 inches tall here, and yeah, it seems like it's
just too narrow.
It's
not
just too
quite
narrow.
enough.
There's not enough contrast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking if you were to do this, maybe 1.25 inches out here, and make this so 1.25 inches, 2.5 maybe.
I feel like it could use a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around the whole thing, so that would be
Yeah, you could do that.
about a 1/2 inch thicker.
It'd be 1/2 inch thicker on the edge, and be
Yeah,
an
a
inch,
half
an inch thicker there. Yeah.
Yes.
No, totally.
I think that's what it really just needs.
Okay, then do it. Sorry that we were just talking about. Oh, I'm not going to need one of those, and then right off the bat, it's
Seam allowance that I
seam
wasn't going
allowance
to
that
add.
you were going to add. Well, I was thinking seam allowance, but I could simply look at it and go, yeah, that's too small.
Yeah, raise it up 1/4, 1/2 inch, right?
Yeah, if you want a 1/4 all the way around, you want to raise up 1/2 inch, which is 1 grid mark on the grid.
Yep. And this is still a straight fold. So then...
It's not a straight cut though.
This is my straight line I
That's
cut.
the straight
That one's the top. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's not.
It was. Now it is.
Okay.
But now it's not on my grid line. Give me 2 seconds. And there we go. And
Anyway, if you're happy that I'll quit. I'll quit backseat making.
no, it's no worries. Hold on. Can you look at that? There you go. That's all.
Jerry Prop says, awesome, man. Thanks. Gonna try to make one of my own, and inches is fine. Oh, thankfully the Irish engineering mind can still deal with inches. I'm glad about that.
But if it's yours, measure from your hand length.
Right. Well, I think that was part of the idea is he wanted to know that it was just, Jerry, you're probably the same way. You go to get the trolley so you can actually go to the supermarket and pick up what you want to get, or market. You may not have supermarkets in Ireland, the big giant land-wasting, buy everything in one box store places. The trolleys aren't made for a 6-foot person. If I were to stand normally, the rear wheels are off the ground and I'm holding the cart up in the air. Otherwise, I'm pushing the cart around. Trash Panda wants to know how many cat toys tall is that? Which is the perfect question because Jerry's the one that sent me cat toys. I think 1.5 inches is too wide at the edge, and I still think that's too sharp of a point. I mean, it's not too sharp of a point. I just think it's too quick of a slope.
Agreed, completely. Well, this is you don't know until you draw it out.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's cheaper on paper than it is on.
Than it is with foam.
Yeah.
It totally is. How many cat toys tall is that? Well, Jerry Riggs, the one that sent me cat toys most recently. And do I have any close by here? Because, unfortunately, with my own unit of measurement of cat toys, I actually don't have that memorized. So let's do some math. The basic diameter of an ideal Odin Makes cat toy appears to be about 1 3/4 inches. So let's pull up a calculator. What is 43 divided by 1 3/4? Somebody out there's going to be smart enough to know it's off their head, or they'll just type it in before I'll get there.
We still have to open the app.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. This is the internet. First is first. So 24.5 cat toys tall. So my table is 24.5 cat toys tall.
The more you know.
The more you know. Get that cat toy out of the way.
Okay.
Where are those at?
What are you looking for?
I have some other cat toys. You're making patterns. You're entertaining.
Am I though?
Well, there was this plan of cleaning the shop on Friday, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, I have a little bit of a grid laid out that we can figure out.
Okay, I'll just drop that thing for now. So you have a little bit of a grid figured out.
So, this one was too wide here and needs more slope here.
Right.
So, do you want to use hip curve or did you want to use that?
I was thinking hip curve, and I
Because
actually talked about.
It's a really good curve for
It
a
is.
tiara.
Yeah, it's a really good curve for a lot, like you said.
Yeah, it's a good curve.
What was I was doing something with it recently, and I talked it up. I think it was Loki's sword. Yeah. There's the female Loki, Sylvie.
Uh-huh.
I made her sword this last week's video, and I use this a lot for doing some of the design work on the side.
Oh, I love these. Like, these are my favorite curves.
Yeah.
Specifically, these two curves.
So can you get this outside of the kit?
Yes.
This is like a what's that
Machete.
club? Well, it's not a machete, but it's also I'm thinking of a New Zealanders club. So you can actually get this independent. Okay.
Yeah. These two are specifically my very favorite curves.
Cool.
But so I'm gonna let you kind of.
Oh well, this is cool. I'm just looking at.
No, I know.
The drawing we have here.
And we have kind of like how tall each piece would be.
Can I have the other no, that's the.
What do you want?
Use to cut the dog trees. I want the ability to speak like an adult.
Granted.
So right now, you've got this is 1 inch and 1 inch, right?
It's 11 divided in half is 5.5 inches ish.
Oh, I meant the parallel lines are 1 inch apart.
Yes, they're inch apart. I was just thinking if you were going to how far out it needs to go. If we take 11 divided by half,
Oh, okay.
it gives us the 5.5 inches, which would go out to here would be where it's already hiding.
Okay.
Which will affect how far of out a slope we want to go.
Right. Now with this one, we decided that this edge was too thick.
Yes. Yes.
And that we wanted to make that thinner. So this ruler happens to be 1.25 inches tall.
Perfect.
And so do we want to do 1.25 inches tall with 1 inch rise? Or do we want to do 1.25 inches tall with 1.25 inches rise? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. Go for it. Paper's cheaper than foam.
Paper's cheaper than foam. So I'll just do here. So I fumble with different... So I use anything other than a metric ruler to do some measurements with.
Well, straight edges. That's what
Straight edges, yeah.
basic
And
math was built upon.
So then if we go... So now this is twice that height.
And then just find the curve that fits between there.
Yeah, just find a curve that fits between there.
It's pointier if we go towards
Right.
the top.
It has a point.
Yeah.
We definitely want to not imitate that curve again.
Yeah.
Because we end up having, I mean, again, it being a little bit shorter because with the way the curve's going, this is lower than here.
Yeah.
It's curving down and coming back up.
Yeah, typically when you do that part, you would go like this to get that one little section of the curve. You put your ruler right there. But I would prefer it if we just kind of found the curve that fits between those 2 points.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
You just...
Because that was just an arbitrary line, but sure.
These are
I'm good with that.
arbitrary curves, so
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
all
like
right.
what shape looks or feels,
Gotcha.
you know.
Like it?
That one goes from that point to that point.
Okay.
But it doesn't really feel super pointy, does it? But hers is kind of a, this was too much.
That was too much.
Yeah.
And it may be because it's fitting on her head that this line isn't straight.
Yeah.
It might be a
That
very
there's a slight
gentle
curve.
arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
This is a starting spot.
this is a good starting spot because this will make it go straight up and down. You start putting an arc on it and you're going to start pitching it in different directions depending on how the arc goes. Yeah. Yeah. She knows. Okay. Is that not pointy enough for you?
No.
It seems like it should be pointier. So
Doesn't
maybe,
it?
maybe
But
it
we
does
don't
need,
know until we cut it. Because, right?
Right. Well, we can cut this one and then we can always cut it again.
Exactly. We have plenty of paper, right?
Do we have plenty of time?
Well, it is noon. Should start with like letting people in.
Oh, is it noon? Thank you.
It just turned to noon like 3 minutes ago.
Okay. My shop clock is off the wall at the moment, so I'm not keeping up with that.
And this was our bottom line, correct?
Yes, that was our bottom line
Yeah.
because the edge needed to be as thick as the metal ruler, which was
Yeah.
over here somewhere. Let me go back
Careful
over.
when cutting curves, people, because when you're cutting a paper on a fold, that same thing about
Yeah.
foam curving, one's going to be longer than the other one. It does happen when you're cutting on folds, so just be very wary of that. That's why you cut with,
That's why I'm always cutting with straight edges.
yeah,
Yeah.
flat, as opposed to lifting it up and using it, the scissors like I am. Don't do this. It's not good. You'll get a more correct pattern if you use a straight edge and a X-Acto knife. But I never listen to my own advice.
Ad Vixen says, I was so busy watching Odin make Legos, I almost missed Felicia. She's right here. You're all good, Ad Vixen. I think that's looking
It works.
better. Yeah. I think that's looking better.
It's a little, it could feel like it could be a little more pointy.
I think I feel like it could be a little more pointy. I feel like I'm
What if
wondering
we just add point to here?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I'm also wondering if it shouldn't be cut flat. If it should be.
Cut
I
on
don't
a
know.
curve.
Probably not. It's probably just the way the art's drawn.
You also we are going to make it out of foam, so we
Right.
can kind of make those curves happen.
Kind of. It changes the pitch, but yeah, that's fine. Because it does from the side, right? It your point, because it's going straight up and down. So from the side, your point's like this.
Yeah.
Do you want it to come back to the hair more, or do you want it to?
Well, that's if it's lower or higher on the head.
Yeah.
It's elastic.
Right. Yeah. If you pitch it in the head, okay. No, let's just cut one with foam.
Okay.
So it's noon. We just went public. What's going on? Sounds like you guys are midstream. Well, we kind of are. So hello and welcome to the public portion of the Odin Makes live stream. It's Sunday. Hello, and I'm here back again with
Felicia. Hi, guys.
We have been going for about 45 minutes now. The patrons get an exclusive beginning to all the live streams, so it's a lot easier to see the individual comments because it's just the patrons who want to participate, and but still, I'm really grateful for everyone else who's tuning in and joining in. I will check comments in just a minute. Like right now, Tim says, "Hi guys, happy Sunday." Hello, Tim. That's Tim 753100. I'm sure that's not his prisoner number. But that's not a date either. So, but anyway, what's happening is today we've started working on the Wonder Woman's headpiece, her crown, her diadem, whatever it is. Her tiara. During the Patreon-only phase, not only did we BS a lot, but we were working on what the pattern was going to be in order to try and put one together. And we're going to start cutting one soon out of what the foam. The plan for the next few live streams is to build all the accessories for a Golden Age style, maybe Silver Age style, the classic Wonder Woman, the classic comic Wonder Woman. So we're making the headpiece today. We'll make the wrists next week yeah. Probably. And then we'll make a belt and a lasso and put all that together with the other pieces of a costume. Because as Felicia was explaining at the costume shop,
everybody wanted the accessories for Wonder Woman, and I think she has the best accessories because you could put it with literally anything to make a Wonder Woman costume.
Right.
You know, like it's the accessories with Wonder Woman, and I love it.
And but the actual suit.
Oh yeah, nobody wanted to rent that ever. We had it, and it was a great one, but nobody ever rented it.
Was it like afraid to put on something so
I don't know.
rental bathing suit, or is it just?
I think it's just the thought of running around in just a leotard around other people, but
right. Probably
it was like a one-piece swimsuit,
right?
But people were way more comfortable if it had a skirt.
Okay.
Even a tiny skirt.
Gotcha.
People would wear the skirt, but they wouldn't wear the swimsuit version of Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
Very crazy. Yeah.
But it was a good costume.
I get it. Yeah. I was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame anybody. You gotta feel comfortable, but also I do understand Wonder Woman has great accessories.
Yes.
And
totally. Now a train just went by. Sorry, I'm going to derail this conversation for just a second. It has been tradition so far with the live streams that we've set up a train cam to show the trains going by outside, and that's a lot of fun because there's a hole in the side of the building here that I've got to plug in. That I remove and set a camera up so we can see outside. It's 113 outside today. So I'm not taking the plug out of the wall. The heat can stay outside. So today we'll just enjoy the sound of the trains.
I fixed the point.
Oh, good.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Yep.
Yeah. Ready for foam?
Ready for foam.
Okay. What kind of foam were you going to use for that?
I was thinking of using the What the Foam, which is... That's all craft foam. So, as an example difference, that's craft foam.
That would be camera number 4?
Oh, whichever, because part of it is just hold it up.
Yeah,
so
that's
one
true.
is good. So you've got, now there's a difference of thickness here too. This is 2mm craft foam, right, which is probably a great size for a metal tiara. And I want to use 4mm What the Foam. And here's the reason why I want to use 4mm What the Foam. Hold it up. It's not just the thickness. 4mm What the Foam actually has a high rubber content. It is a much tougher foam.
Seriously, this is like shoe soles.
Yeah, this is
It is like this stuff
totally.
will wear and tear as a costumer who has had to deal with rentals.
Yes, that would, yeah, definitely. This is very, very much, it's not quite flip-flop soles, but it is close. Also, with this material, you could sew the elastic to it, and it wouldn't tear the foam up.
Yeah.
So we can glue it, or if you want, we can just stitch the elastic to the back of the crown.
Yeah. Easy peasy pudding pie. Hey, look it, it's almost perfect.
Yeah, they're 12 inches by 18 inches.
So.
Oh, and I was telling the patrons, Cosplay Apprentice website. So you go to cosplayapprentice.com. That's the manufacturers, the makers of What the Foam. They're here in the United States. So they may only ship to the United States. But if you order direct from them instead of through Amazon, you can get factory seconds. This means your foam might have air bubbles and little things in it that aren't going to make it perfect for Amazon. It also means you can get it at a discount. And the big pieces of What the Foam, which I can go and get one, but basically it's like 4 feet by 5 feet or whatever it is, 42 inches. They're big. It is extremely comparable in price to the rolled foams that we get at Blick Art Materials or at Michael's. It gets to be a much closer price, and that excited me. So I wanted to point it out again.
Better quality. I also did like buying the rolls from the newspaper manufacturing.
Yeah.
The ends, perfect pattern paper.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those secrets. Just order from the manufacturers if you can.
If you can, yeah, newspaper, because that's such a viable industry currently.
They still exist. They still have the ends of the rolls, and they're still cheap. But
so back in this is the 90s. I went to the newspapers because they were making their printing templates still.
You seem disappointed by all 3 options.
This one's been acting up.
Okay.
I need to get a new white pen. These 2 are also acting up. The white acrylic pen is definitely my favorite on the black, but we can try whichever.
Do you want to just use a knife and not trace it first?
I'd rather trace it first.
Oh, okay.
But the newspapers were still using aluminum plate templates, and they were like pie plate thick. They were super, super thin. You know, you get the pie tins. There's a real thin, thicker than a soda can, but thin anyway. They would just recycle them because they would do their etching on it.
Aluminum foil can just get squished down again. That's how you recycle aluminum foils. You squish it.
So I actually went a couple of times to the Roseville newspaper when they were still in print and got a couple of cast-offs from the previous day because they was like, yeah, you want those? Here. They actually gave me one specifically when a friend was in the newspaper, so
That's
I got
great
the
for
printing
a Tin
thing.
Man costume.
Exactly. It made great armor pieces. I don't know if you can even get it anymore because there aren't any newspaper presses in Sacramento at this point.
Yeah, Sacramento Bee doesn't use it.
No.
No.
So let's go over to 4, and we'll do this.
Scissors,
And I see
cut it.
Ad Vixen's. I'll let you cut it with scissors. I see Ad Vixen's doing a super chat.
No. I was saying I had some metal scissors that would have cut that pie tin stuff.
Yeah.
Like they were Cutco scissors that can cut pennies, and I love those things so much.
Oh, Cutco knives are great.
Yeah, Cutco scissors that cut pennies are great for when you want to just cut sheet metal because crafting sometimes involves cutting sheet metal.
Yeah.
But so I was just like in my head going, ooh, I want to go play with a giant sheet of an aluminum foil, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I got this at Office Max. I need to go get a couple more because I ended up really liking this. I bought some high-grade white acrylic pens from the art store, from Blick Arts. I don't like the pen nearly as much as this cheapo one from Office Max.
No, it's just how the ink flows.
Yeah. And that was a while ago, and this pen's about done, which I'm not too upset with.
You got your money's worth out of it?
I definitely did. And because it's more of an acrylic based, it doesn't run through stuff. Right?
You know, the small things.
The small things. But I can still, it's a ghostly line, but we can still see the line. So do you want me to cut this out?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Because I would use scissors, and I think it would be cut out much nicer. Oh, okay. Because when you do a curve, sometimes you...
Yeah. Well, you added a second
Yeah, I
piece
totally
to it.
did.
So you
Switched up that curve, but...
I'll just freehand it. We'll hope for the best.
There you go. That's the curve right there.
Okay, I'll try not to carve up your plastic ruler.
Yeah.
Let me get a...
I know, I want this out of metal.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get a metal French curve.
Yeah, but this one.
That one specifically.
This one specifically.
That's
Number
the
17
number
French curve.
Please send all the number 17 French curve metal rulers to that girl Felicia. No, to Felicia Calais at P.O. Box 874, Orangevale, California.
Yeah, but this, I love that this one's slightly purple.
Yeah, because you can see it on white paper. You can see it on white wedding dresses.
Yes, I like the slight purple color, and I like that it's clear. But at the same time, I want it out of metal so I can use it for a straight edge when cutting with that thing.
Right. Or what I did was use the metal straight edge with a wood burner, so I could use it to get an accurate curved line, and that works so well.
Yes, no, yes. I like using straight edges and things. Because it goes from homemade looking to professional looking like that.
Yes, it does. In fact, I've got this upcoming project. Ended up using the. I don't have a Cricut. I've got a silhouette cutter. We end up using that a lot to cut a lot of the pieces that go on it because it goes from homemade looking to professional looking.
Yeah, it really does. Like, when you offered to help cut the Barbie... Wait, it wasn't Barbie. It was Vicky. For the Barbie box.
For the Barbie box.
I jumped on that because I knew no matter how nicely I cut those words out, it would look perfect off of one of those. Yes, it makes a huge difference.
So we have a.
Oh wow, that's a right angle. Crazy, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why it looks good.
Right.
So we have an option with the star. We can just draw it in and like with an X-Acto knife and heat gun it, make it open it up so we have a line.
Yeah.
I have some 1 millimeter thick foam. So we can cut 1 millimeter thick foam, which is half the size of the craft foam you had, and glue it down and actually make it a relief.
I like that.
And then both ways you get a separation, so it's easier to paint.
I like sticking on another star on top.
Then we'll do that. Let's check out AdVixen Super Chat first, though.
Okay.
We live. Okay, I'm back, female dogs. And AdVixen also says, finally a day off from the movies. Now, back to the movies, because family wants free tickets to Black Widow. Balls. AdVixen, what do you do that forces you to deal with so many movies?
Do you get to work at the movie theaters?
Do you work at the movie theater? Do you work in marketing? Are you part of a promotional team that does stuff? You know, I used to know the person. So way back in the day, radio would give out free passes to go and see the new upcoming movie. And I knew the person that would stand out in front of the theater and hand them out to the people because she would get a list of who to expect to show up. Mm-hmm. And so she would give out these passes to the people on her list. And not everyone would show up, right? Yeah. Or whatever. So she would constantly say, yeah, just show up. I would buy her an 8-pack of the bottles of Dr. Pepper. That was the trade-off. And I would get this pass for 2 free tickets to go see whatever the new movie was. Yeah.
I love those little perks. Working at a costume shop, a lot of people for promotions would come in for costumes to help promote different things, different radio stations, news stations. I got to know everybody. It was fun. But we also got free tickets because they're like, look, we have extra promotional tickets. Do you want to go to this event? Your friends, geez Louise, my brain is...
You need more duct tape coffee.
Apparently. Trash Film Orgy?
Yes, my friends at Trash Film. Darren and... Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. My brain isn't even thinking right now. But they always had a standing James... from the costume shop always had his list on the VIP list. Okay. So definitely took advantage of that a couple of times.
For all their premieres. Okay. Yeah.
So, it was really fun working at a costume shop amongst a lot of marketing people. Because of the sweet hookups.
My friends, the Trash Film Orgy, which is a fantastic name for a group of people that like to make movies. Definitely look them up online. They like making those... kind of goofy 70s-ish, 80s-ish fantasy sci-fi movie. Like there's one called Badass Monster Killer. They're fun. Yeah. They're cheesy. They're cheap. They're done on a no budget, a no string budget. They're done with volunteers. Every bit of money they spend is on screen. It's a labor of love, and the two main people totally see through the writing, the designing, the directing, the editing, and the effects. It takes them 2 to 3 years to get a film done. The next one coming up is called Grunk the Smasher, which looks like Frank Rosetta painting or a Richard Corbin painting from Heavy Metal. That type of thing. It kind of looks like Den for the movie Heavy Metal. It's got that kind of a vibe to it. Anyway, I made the hero's shoulder armor and headpiece and helped out with a few other bits and pieces in the show. And it's brightly colored and it's going to be a train wreck. But I am so looking forward to this movie because it's going to be a lot of fun to watch because I know everybody was in it. Yeah. Yes. Leah Jones says, hi, Odin. Detlef P., good evening. Oculus 2003, what is today's project?
It is Wonder Woman's tiara. Will we finish it by the end of the stream?
If I could shut up. The horror nerd says, "Hey Odin, can you make the Freddy Krueger remake glove?" I would have to look that up. I don't know what the remake one looks like. Tyler Lynn, happy birthday! It's upcoming Wednesday. Yep, a couple of people saying, "What you making?"
Is there a difference between the right side and the wrong side?
No, there is no.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there is a difference.
Sometimes there is. EVA foam is cast in large blocks, and then they use a horizontal bandsaw to cut layers off of it. So it is uniformly mixed and cast into giant blocks, and then cut up. So
I appreciate that level of detail.
okay,
Because you have mentioned many times that floor mat foam is not even.
floor mat foam is not even. No.
And then it wasn't until I cut the pieces all around
Right.
that I realized that, oh wow, it really isn't even.
Now, saying that, actually, there might be a right side and a wrong side, because that's how EVA foam is done. What the foam? No, this one looks like it is cut like I'm talking about, because I'm not seeing a difference. The 6mm, you can see a side where it looks like it's been hot rolled or something. It's got a texture on one side.
Yeah.
I don't see it with that one, though. So sorry that all of a sudden I had to go back on what I was saying. But regular EVA foam and all the couch foam you buy, because I actually got to go to a facility. There's one here in Sac that did it. We went to go buy a giant piece of foam for the puppetry class that I did. This is late 80s in college. And they told the place, it was like Kingston Foam. It's like, we want a piece of 5/8 inch foam. And so we go in the back and they forklift out this giant cube of foam. This is like, Cecil B. DeMille building a pyramid piece of foam, right? It's 6 feet by 6 feet by 5 feet tall, this big cube of foam. Sets it down on this big tray, and the tray, kind of like a 3D printer, the tray moves back and forth through a big horizontal bandsaw blade and just shaves like a slice of bread 5/8 of an inch right off the top. And then you get up and roll it up and handed it to us. It was like the freaking coolest thing I saw.
I can see that being oddly satisfying just to watch.
Oh yeah. It was way cool. and all of it made so much sense once I saw it happen.
Yeah. I like watching those how it's made videos all the time.
Yeah. Templar Gaming YT, am I doing the Lego Dimensions GLaDOS? People have asked that forever. I never... It becomes an issue of ordering the parts from Bricklink to put it together accurately from what I see on screen, and I haven't explored that idea in a couple of years. So that's kind of on the on hold, maybe died on the vine type of an area. Sean Karg tells us that he has a bunch of 4mm craft foam that he uses to help work out patterns when I can't tell if it's going to be correct from just the paper patterns.
Yes, that definitely helps. Use the cheap stuff first.
Yeah, definitely. There's lots. I have a tendency to just go for it and force my prototype to be my finished product.
But you have a time crunch every week.
And there's lots of people that do a prototyping phase. My friend at SKS Props, Steve, he just came out with a Chainsaw Man head that looks fantastic. He did a prototype of it first. You're trying to show me something.
Was this the gold
that's a fine gold, yeah.
Yes. There are golds that I like better than other golds, and I think that's the gold I like the best.
Are you planning on...
attaching that after we paint it so it's easier to play with.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So it's the right length, it's been marked, and it's
okay.
easier.
Then yeah, we can just... It's black, so we just directly paint this.
Yeah, and then also it gives us, while this is drying, we can make a little star.
Yeah, I'll get going on that.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'll quit talking about my friends telling people to go to other YouTube channels. But wait, tune away from me and go over there.
We do this all live, and you get to see the actual process, as boring as it is. You have to tape and...
SKS Prop Steve, he's the actual maker of HD foam.
Yeah.
Which is the best EVA foam that I've worked with. What the foam is kind of its own thing, so it's not quite EVA foam.
You can tell he knows what he wanted. He created his own unobtainium.
Yes.
So, yeah, when you kind of want a certain material to act a certain way and it just doesn't exist yet, it's unobtainium until it exists.
Right.
And I feel like that's what he did. And when we were making his product,
when we were making the
Dragon Ball armor out of his foam, it was a little too easy. Not too easy, but you know what I mean?
It was really just all too easy.
It feels nice, it worked nice, and it was great to work with. You know what I mean?
So definitely HD foam is absolutely my favorite EVA foam.
Yes.
What the foam is
It's
its
different.
own. It's different. It's its own class, and I love it for the fact that it has different properties.
Yes.
And so there are bits and pieces of Mechagodzilla that are made out of the different foams in order to get the different properties of the different foams.
I like this thing. It turned out
This thing's
great.
great, yeah.
And oh my gosh, the rest fucking hell with the paint job.
Yeah, yeah. Joe nailed the paint job, of course.
Yeah, we just couldn't watch.
Right. Trash Panda says, "Okay, guys, I'm out." Well, if you're still here, good day, Trash Panda. Duelicus, when am I going to make the next Star Wars helmet? I'm not sure. I don't have one planned at the moment. Dan does junk. Hey, guys. Hello, and it has been a while since you've been here. I need to get 1mm foam, but I'm talking to people.
It's okay.
Schultz Division. Hope you get well soon, Stephen Daichi. Stephen is saying he's not doing well, I guess. Prime Guy 98. Hi, Odin. Guess what? Chicken butt.
Bruno butt.
Bruno butt. I made a new fursuit pause for my new character. He's an Egyptian protogen. Want to see it on Insta again? Sure. George is asking, what's the project?
We're making Wonder Woman's tiara.
I didn't quite put it in the description. I probably should have a little better. I was a little...
It's okay. It needed to be a little vague because this is the first day of the project.
Yes.
New set of project. We're doing Wonder Woman's accessories from head to, well, not to toe, because you can get really great boots that are cheaper than trying to figure them out.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, we're going to be doing all of her accessories, trying to get them done by the end of the live stream.
Good. Which gives us 90 minutes still. Stephen Ellis is letting us know that England is winning 1-0 in the Euro Cup final. By the way, hello, Steve. Vile Gaming is asking if I'm going to make President Loki helmet. I can, but going back to when I was just talking about my friend Steve at SKS Props, he did. And so I didn't want to step on his toes, so I was making other Loki props.
Yes. You had a bunch. All right, do you just go from the pot or...
Yeah, I just go straight from the pot.
I was going to, but I didn't want to be rude.
No, that's fine. I go straight. Yeah, I go straight from the pot. George says, "Oh, Wonder Woman's tiara. Is the Falcon helmet also going to be a thing?" Well, we're not doing the one from the movie. We're doing the Silver Age classic comic book version, because there's been so many times that Felicia's working at the comic shop. People would come in and want to do Wonder Woman, and all the accessories would rent.
Yeah, they want the accessories can make. Wonder Woman's accessories can make any outfit.
Right.
They really can. So.
But you, I don't know. People have heard the story a few times. George hasn't, but.
Okay, well, it'll re-air eventually.
Yeah.
But no, I really do like Wonder Woman. Everybody wanted to be Wonder Woman when they do come in and be superheroes. Like Supergirl was like, all right, but I'd rather be Wonder Woman. That was always the reaction. And then Catwoman was like a number 2 rental. But she was also kind of technically a bad guy-ish. But that's also because Batman rented a lot. Like a lot. And so Batman and Catwoman or Poison Ivy, those ones went together a lot. But Wonder Woman, I have to say, was the one superhero for ladies that rented the accessories. Like everybody came in wanting to be her, but the accessories rented the most. Okay, let's see. Jeff 3D Models, you mean his I can't pronounce that word. That's a word I've read. That's the word I've learned by reading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we have that spelled out in kindergarten words?
Well, he spelled it out. It's just I don't want to mispronounce.
Correctly, but I mean,
yeah.
Instead of like DAY-AM.
Like how do you enunciate it? Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how well the mic can pick me up. I'm way off.
You are way over there. Why no primer? Because it's black already. Sorry, that was Tolan Fett was asking why no primer. Why am I just kind of brutally going at it?
Right.
I really am just brutally going at it, but
it's fine. Why no primer? Well, we're trying to time crunch and get it done. This is just basic acrylic, which will work. The other paints that I use are actually formulated to stick to the EVA foams. There is
no need, but
so with that, there's no need. With this one, it should be fine though. So she's got a red star on the front of her diadem, and
is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
Jeff 3D Model says.
Oh, there's a D in there.
Yeah, that's what throws me off.
I don't know, I wish.
I just know I'm saying it wrong, but I also do know that's one of those words that I've read more than I've ever said.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. And since I'm a sight reader and whatnot, I can never pronounce anything. Yeah. I'm horrible with English. I'm sure all of you noticed I mispronounce all sorts of words on my videos. Colby Harriman is saying, I like the shirt. That shirt is pretty cool. Looks like Harry Potter stuff. It is. This is my distressed Slytherin shirt, my House Slytherin shirt. Because I couldn't get a distressed House Ravenclaw shirt when I was making the Golden Snitch for DIY Prop Shop. So I settled on Slytherin. Later on, I went and did the sorting hat at whichever website that is, and I got put in Ravenclaw, which I thought was funny because that was a shirt I wanted to get. Oh, it's diadem.
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 Yeah, I knew I was saying it wrong. All I knew is that, but...
Yeah, diadem. Okay. Thank you, Sam. Yep, Sam, same thing. Diadem. Appreciate that. And the other person's got a spam for a logo. It's, it's Dispamonite. Okay, Dispamonite. Thank you for the spam and the logo. That one clued me in. I would never have figured it out. TGM the Good Man wants to make Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. There's a lot of people that love it. I probably should. That's one of those things I just haven't yet. J period. Ravenclaws for the win! Yes, 50 points to House Ravenclaw. And my shirt catches fire. Jeff's 3D model says, I'm also Ravenclaw. Sweet.
I think I'm in denial, but I was sorted into that house too.
And Mr. Rooster is asking that I definitely show that...
I'll have to try.
Show the different... So people still want the Oxygen Destroyer. So when I finish with Mechagodzilla, the next kaiju build or something I need to do is the Oxygen Destroyer. Or at some point in time, that has to happen. And so he's requesting that I make sure to show that they were requesting it.
Yes, you have to keep... Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
Pretty much. So you've got brush strokes on there.
Those are awful. Yeah.
You can't call it done, that's all.
No, not at all. But it's wiping off more than it's going back on.
Right.
So
when this gets a chance to dry, do we want to try sponging it, or we just try brushing it again? Probably just try brushing it again.
I was going to try brushing it again. Can you get a second coat?
Cool.
Yeah. I know I'm not Joe. I'm not a paint.
Joe would airbrush it.
Yeah, but that's noisy and messy, and we can't.
Yeah.
And so with the limitations that we have, that's what we get.
That's what we get. So one of the things I found on Amazon that was really fun is 1 millimeter EVA foam.
Wow.
Yeah.
That stuff's but I could see that being sewn into stuff.
This could be sewn into stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is just standard craft foam, so this is the lightest grade of foam. But it's white, which is great because we paint red on it, and red will be nice and bright. But we'll have to make sure we paint the edges, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll have white edges. As an alternative, at twice the thickness, I have one piece of kind of faded red.
That we could paint a red over and it'd be easier.
And the edges would still be red, or just not paint it at all. I think if we're going to paint it, I think I like the idea of it being thinner.
Okay, it's up to you.
Okay.
It's a star. It's
know
a hard shape to cut.
It's a hard shape to cut, and I know that working with this is tricky. Joe's done some mecha things with this, and it looks really good because you get the fine little panel lines, but...
You want to use that?
I do kind of want to use this.
Do it then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to let that dry more until I add another coat. Fingerprints now, right?
Yeah, they might show up when you're all done.
When I'm all done?
When you're all done, they could.
When I'm all done?
When you're all done, yep, they could show up. Stefan says, love your videos, Odin. Thank you. The work is pretty impressive. I'm such a brilliant guy. Well, thank you very much. Yes. Mr. Digital Work says, greetings from Austria.
Hello in Austria.
TGM, the good man, can you say a joke? I'll just pass that on to someone who might actually know a clean joke.
What did the scarf say to the hat? You go on ahead, I'll hang around.
There you go.
That's the only joke I could think of. So there's that.
That's not a bad joke. So I want to try and draw.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? There we are.
I am going to... Sewing machine's still plugged in, and I keep not stepping on that.
Schultz Division says, I cut a whole Iron Man helmet in EVA in 15 seconds on a Zund table. Is that a laser cutting device?
That's awesome.
That is awesome. How long did it take you to set up the file so you could cut it?
That's what I was wondering. How much prep work did it take?
Did it work the first time?
But once you get it yes.
Once you got it, then you can just crank that stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Are you making a star pattern?
Yeah, I'm just going to print one out. I can freehand it. You know what it'll look like? I freehand
it would match my fingerprinted... Yeah, it would definitely look freehanded. Stars are a tricky shape.
Save images. Man!
It's live. Everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Oh! Pressure's on.
No!
Just in case you forgot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, jeez.
What's up, Odin? Hello, Michael James. We're making Wonder Woman pieces. Hey, this is my friend Felicia. Michael, Felicia, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Holly Stutzman. Odin, what are you building? I'm making a star to go on the Wonder Woman headpiece. So let me go find the download, and can I open this with Inkscape?
Can you?
Well, it's an SVG, so I should be able to.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah. Because that way I can actually size it in the program and print it out the size that I want, as opposed to guesstimating. Someone's screaming in all caps for me to build the BFG 9000. Now! Build it now!
Why are you not building it? Jeez.
Well,
they told you.
Yeah, they're telling me.
Get on that.
Come on. What the heck, Odin? So I've built the BFG 9000 for Smosh. And it was a quick one-day build, and it looked like it, but it worked for Smosh.
Right?
I think you guys would probably say, that thing's crap, if I was to try and do that as my actual video.
But movie magic.
Movie magic. I wanted to be in inches because my brain works in inches, and 2.5 inches is way too damn big.
Here is a
it's
clear
probably
ruler.
going to be about 1.25 inches, just like everything else, right? Point to point. So I don't bump the ruler. I don't want to bump the ruler into the paint.
Yeah.
So that's what we got.
Yeah.
So what do you think? 1.25 inches?
So
1.5 inches?
Let's start with 1.25 inches.
Okay.
You
I'll
can print out
two.
multiple. You can print them
Multiple? Oh my gosh, that sounds like
on
work.
the same piece of paper.
On the same
and
piece of paper?
everything. The same print.
Okay.
You know, because paper's cheaper than foam.
Yeah, almost always. So I'll do that, and then you just hold control, and you can create. No, it's holding alt. Then which one is it for you? Oh, do you not do it in this version?
Oh.
I get used to a functionality that used to drive me nuts in the old version. The new one doesn't do it.
Can never make you happy, can they?
Nope. Come on.
You know, of all places, I think this is like sitting in the only cold place in this whole room. Like,
the air conditioner is right over your
head. But the air conditioner is hitting right on the tiara. If I just move it this way slightly to dry, I think it'll dry way faster.
Okay. Then do it. Move it wherever you need to move it.
Because I'm like, it is like 100 degrees. Why?
Right. Why is it taking any amount of time to dry?
Right? Because I'm not crazy. It's hot in here and it should dry fast.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy? Okay.
Okay,
it's
no,
true.
you're not. But okay, so there's 3 sizes. Now we'll hit print.
And we'll see which one works.
Yep. This is the 5-pointed star.svg as seen on Wikipedia, downloaded and printed out using Inkscape, a free online program. Because why not? James Zona, which is currently hidden because excessive use of things, says, hi!
Sorry, not today. I'm off medication.
Okay. Diane Fallen says, "Hi, Odin and Felicia. How's your guys' day going so far? It's warm.
It is a nice hot day.
It is a nice hot day. It's a good live stream. I'm enjoying myself. This is a pretty chill live stream for us.
We might actually complete something today. We'll
We
see.
might.
We might.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Diane's asking, when's my next Loki project? My very next Loki project is this Wednesday. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really happy with how it looks.
I like the big one.
You like the big one? We'll use the big one. That's why I did 3.
Yeah, that's too small. That's.
Okay.
I like that one.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
That's fine. You're working away and I'm talking to people.
Well, I wanted to see what it looked like, but I didn't want to cut it.
It's fine.
So.
It's fine. It's fine. I seriously don't mind. Everything's fine.
We have a hello from Portugal. Hello, Cliff.
Oh, cool.
Oliveira.
Try to make that a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit easier.
Oh, there you go. I can totally see now.
Steve Ellis, how was the Comic On? So where do you see Cliff at? I'll get you to you. Oh, there he is. Hello from Portugal. Sweet. Lodi Comic Con was a lot of fun. I think it's just Lodi Con is all they call it. I think San Diego is trying to have a what do you call it? Copyright on Comic Con as a word.
Yeah, I think they're like the name brand.
Yeah.
They're trying to take Band-Aid as opposed to.
Right.
Do you have foam brushes? You don't get those, do you?
No, they've fallen apart too often for me.
Okay.
But what I do is I tear off a piece of polyfoam because my shop's full of it, like that, yeah,
This one
and
more?
then just
Yeah, okay.
stipple with it.
I didn't want to use this if it was a piece of something. but
No,
then
that's exactly what it is. Especially
what
if
I
it
assumed.
looks like it's got bites out of it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what that
I'm
is.
going to do a layer going this way because I did a layer this way.
Sure.
And then I'm going to do a layer with just this way.
Okay. Yeah, it'll take me a little bit to get this done, and we're
Yeah.
gonna get it painted red, and then we can glue it together.
Yeah, well, this needs a few coats because it just,
Yeah.
the first one doesn't want to go down thick, and then the next
Right.
one, yeah.
So what am I doing over here? I've got my printout of. Oh yeah, you can totally see that. Let me just reach out and. So I got my printout of the star. That's obviously we're making Satan Woman. There we go. So make sure the point goes up. So making Wonder Woman star, and I've got a small bit of 1mm foam. This looks like paper, but this is actually 1mm thick EVA foam. So I'm just going to lay the two of them together. Did I give myself enough foam? Yeah, I do. And then I'll just cut them both out at once. I'll just cut. I'll cut outside the lines and with a ruler, and hopefully cut a star, the first time. I hope.
We'll see.
We'll see. No, that's not going to work. That's just a
No,
great
that's
shot
just
of you.
my lovely print of my dress.
Yeah. Okay. So the con was great, though. The con, there was a lot of people. It was way busier than I ever expected it to be. And the neighbors across the hall made way more money than they ever expected to at Lodi. They were surprised they made more than they did in the previous bigger cons. So, of course, this is all coming out of the pandemic, so things are relative.
Everybody's ready to be back in business. I haven't seen these things. I haven't,
Right.
There's that whole in the moment and amongst, So I can totally see that happening. Yeah. I think we're ready.
Here, I'll do this. Want to trade sides? I'll do this, and you can talk to them.
Okay, I will see what people are saying. Here,
Yeah.
my box. There you go. Hey, Odin. Mary Bernitas says, "Hey, Odin, are you going to make the hats for the Among Us suits?"
I wasn't planning on making hats for the Among Us. I think I'm kind of done with the Among Us suits at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't planning on it.
But I think there's easy enough to just pin hats in general.
Yeah, I think so. I think I took my foam Jason mask and
Put it on it?
put that on when I wore it to a con. So yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, it worked. Well, they have that in the game. So.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I was laughing. I was like, I can see that. That works. Yeah.
And I also took my machete because you need a knife. So my piece of paper is larger than my piece of foam, so I'm taping the paper to the foam so I can spin it around and cut my star sides without losing my place.
Sounds like you know what you're doing or done this before.
I've done something like this before.
I see what you're doing there, and that makes complete sense. I've done something like that before, too. but yeah.
Yeah.
It's still tricky.
It's still tricky. I'm actually having minor flashbacks to when I did the star on Red Guardian's helmet.
Camera 4?
If you want, yeah. It's just a little white spot over here.
Is it?
Yeah, well, here, let me reach up and make the... I'll walk around in front of the camera. Let's see if I can't...
Well, it's not on. It's okay.
Well, no, but the only way I can reach it is I'll walk around in front of, like right in front of you.
Yeah.
And I press that twice. And are we zoomed in?
Yeah, now you're super zoomed.
Super zoomed. Okay.
Okay, so program.
So you hit 4, and 4 should turn green.
Yeah, it's green.
Okay, and that's my hand here, so I need to cut way back here. There we are. So that's like the very end of the table. Do that. And then, yeah, what you want to do is hit auto or cut.
I'm sorry, I do not see it. This is live.
Right, all the way on the right-hand side. You got cut,
Audio.
towards the bottom of the big buttons.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, auto will fade it. There you go. And then up at the top, the dark button up there. And that'll put us in the corner.
Okay. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Did you guys get through all of your questions on the
No, we haven't
Discord?
looked at it
Super
yet.
Chat?
No.
Okay.
There's 3 questions on Super Chat from Ad Vixen.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Super Chat, but just normal chat. There's a very special request from someone.
No, we have not looked at those yet.
Trying. We missed it. Please, Joe, step in and,
Yes,
and,
come
and,
on,
and
come
find it and let us know.
Yes.
Hey, everyone,
Find
Joe's
it.
here.
Yeah, we were
Hi.
getting to work, and so Odin put me in charge of reading comments, and I haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah.
I said hi to somebody in Portugal. So.
I think it might have been from the very beginning of it being 12.
Gotta make sure that I'm on camera.
I know, so they can see what you're doing. The teeny tiny cuts.
Yeah, the teeny tiny cut to the teeny tiny piece.
Hi, Bruno.
So the thing that you may not be able to see, the arms of the star aren't straight. They kind of go up a
Sorry,
little bit
Odin.
to the corners. So I can't just. I mean, I could just lay the ruler down, and cut point to point, but I'm gonna follow it the way it wants to be, and
'Cause
have
you've done
each
this
point
before.
be a little bit angled.
Yeah, those points.
Yeah.
They're very particular, and I'd rather just do them one at a time than try and, yeah.
Right. The other fun thing is to not overcut where the 2 of them connect, because there's no healing that.
No, and it's gonna.
It's
going through
permanent.
that effort to do this kind of a detail.
So you guys watching the live stream upstairs, Joe?
No. I've just been managing Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So let me see.
Because you come in, did you answer that one very important question? It's like, what important question? They're all kind of important.
So somebody says Odin and Felicia, and now Joe. So we have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Woohoo! That means I get to be Batman, right?
That's important, right?
Yep.
Well, I made Lego Batman, so.
So he claimed it.
Dang it! I guess I gotta be Superman.
Boy Scout.
It's all right. I
Was
can
that-
be Superboy Prime and kill you all.
So the very important question was one that pertained to you?
No, it didn't.
No, that wasn't it? Okay.
And it was more of a request than a question.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to see because
There
he
was
said
one about
he
Oxygen
asked,
Destroyer.
He said he asked, but
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure that I get it so that you guys can find it.
Just so you guys know, it's not that I don't look at the comments or that I ignore a lot of the. This just
We're
it
trying
happens.
to build this.
It happens faster, especially once it go public. There's enough comments going by that I don't see them all, and it is not favoritism. I don't count all the trees that fly by me when I'm driving, and sometimes I feel like that's the way the comment section goes.
Super
I
chat
appreciate
really is the
it.
best way to.
Super chat is the best way to make sure, but I'm not trying to say you have to bribe us to get your question answered. It's just I will absolutely make sure I respond to all super chats, but
Can't guarantee. Just
I can't
comments
guarantee.
get lost.
Yeah, and it's nothing personal when it happens.
We appreciate that there's so many comments to get lost in. Genuinely.
Yes.
So if you said something you want to get read, just type it again.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Is don't
Yeah.
spam the chat, but
Yeah.
if your question doesn't get answered in a reasonable
Do you know who
amount
you're
of
looking
time,
for?
You can ask it in a different way.
there I am looking for somebody's.
Okay, do you remember the subject? There's like a particular word, because you could try Control
All right.
F, and that might work.
Oh, let me try that.
He's just slowly scrolling through, trying to read them all.
There's a lot,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
the entire live
here we
stream
go.
is derailed, waiting for Joe.
Here we go.
Odin, can you say happy birthday for me? To Tyler Lynn. Yeah, because just next down it said my birthday is next Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I literally did that.
You did say that?
Where's it at? Yeah,
There it
my
is.
birthday is on Wednesday. So I went, oh, cool. A happy birthday next Wednesday. So yeah, I did see that.
You know, in 30 minutes ago, I saw that he had posted on the Instagram asking
Okay.
For a happy birthday.
about it and saying that you missed it. So,
Oh,
so
Tyler Lynn. Okay. I swear, I went, oh, hey, it's Tyler Lynn's birthday Wednesday. Happy birthday, Tyler.
Well, we'll have to go watch.
You'll have a new Odin Makes video put up. The last Loki prop I'm going to be making for a little bit. The last, for now, made 3. It's time to do something new. So that'll be coming out on Wednesday, as well as the last episode of Loki. But that's, Anyway, happy birthday, Tyler. Are you happy, Joe?
It's not whether or not I'm happy. I guess it's whether or not Tyler's happy. So, he says thank you.
Sweet, good.
Which shade
It is
red do you
possible
want?
also that Tyler missed it. So
Yes, it is. It is very possible
It is
because
very
it is
possible.
live,
Right.
And things happen live.
I would rather use the HD.
Okay, I
Well,
just
I know
like
we got all the
red.
different reds.
Where's red?
Oh yeah, we kind of went on a red.
We went on a
spree
red
at one
rampage
point.
for what were we painting?
I think it was for Ashbringer. I think
Oh,
that's-
yeah, that was
it. Was
it.
for my project.
That's for your project.
Yep, that I still haven't edited.
Nope, it's okay. It'll happen.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys do your thing.
Okay.
I
And
don't see a bucket.
yeah, sorry for bothering you guys.
It's
Oh,
all
there
right.
it is. I see it.
Okay.
Have fun being Wonder Woman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have so many paints. And those
I have
are
so
right
many
there.
paints, and it is so poorly organized in the shop. It is not your fault you couldn't find them. That's a nice deep maroon blood red.
That's an orange.
There should be a snowboard red in there, a fire truck red. That's it.
That's it.
Pyro. That's about the. There's Pyro and Dragon's Breath, I think, are the two. That's another Pyro. I do like that Plaid Effects definitely used names that would appeal to cosplayers for their names of their paints.
Definitely a job I wouldn't mind having. I
Like-
paint paints all day.
Yeah, this one's Bloodline. Bloodline and Pyro. I think there's something Dragon, but the Dragon one might be the
Yeah, I don't see it.
the metallic one that actually has got a bit of fuchsia to it.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is true. This is just red. This one is fire truck red, plain fire truck red. This one here is a bright red, but it's a metallic because it's got the diamond on top.
Yeah.
So it's got a bit of metallic to it. And these do dry darker than they look. Like this one's kind of pinkish,
It is pinky, isn't it?
but I do believe it dries darker. And so here's this one that's garnet red that is also metallic red, and that's a
Still
little darker.
pinky, yeah. But it's the metallic sparkles.
Right, and I think these dry,
Yeah.
it's just a variation on the theme. Here's a pearlescent one from the same company that's making the. You see, it's
I
always.
do like the sparkles, but I
Okay.
like the red better than I like sparkles.
All right. Well, why don't somebody, paint this with the base red, and then we can do a coat of sparkles over it.
That sounds like a plan.
And then the base red should come through the sparkles because
Yeah, because
red
it's hard to
covers
cover
like
red.
poo. Actually, poo covers way better than red, but
Red loves to leak and go
Right.
shine through white and other paint colors.
yes, it does.
It just has like this personality, just wants to shine through.
What a pleasant way to put it. Do you have gold paint on your dress?
No, your the wood table got snagged on my dress.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Splinters. Oh wait, I'm going up and down on this one.
So I got a little bit of red paint on my fingers. Okay. Heaven forbid I get red on your dress. We've got
Yes.
Andrew James is telling us SPAM stands for Specially Processed American Meat. Sure, that's probably accurate. Even if it's not, it's
I like my
great.
spam with Jufron.
Dorian is saying, Bat Joe!
But Odin called it. Got dibs.
Someone's asking for Kylo Ren's damage helmet because he's a damaged pre-team like they are. That's his Fallout old school gamer. Purple paint should be Tyranid blood. Yes, purple paint is totally Tyranid blood. Jash does stuff.
Fun names, right? You don't forget things like that.
Yeah, well, Tyranid is a 40k monster. And,
Yeah.
And it's definitely, they've kind of got the Star Trek 6 hot pinkish blood.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate those names.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But, Plaid Effects couldn't use Tyranid blood because Games Workshop would probably get a little bit whiny about that. It's that whole, like, that's our IP. What are you doing, guys?
I know.
I'll get really quiet and we'll just paint.
Yeah, we'll get something done.
Get something done, yeah.
Someone's asking, Charbel Chilella says, can you make Albert from Owl House, please? I don't know who that is.
I don't know who Albert from Owl House is.
Have to look that up.
Doesn't mean I can't. It's just I don't know who it is. And what's fun is as I get older, there's more and more new stuff coming up that I'm just not aware of.
Right? It's hard to be on top of everything.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Owl House may not even be new. I'm not trying to say Owl House is something those damn kids are watching. No, that's not what I mean at all. It's just
I don't want to paint my hair gold.
you probably don't. I actually found some hair ties the other day. They're in a bag. They're all clean. Do you want a hair tie?
That's okay. I can just use this stick.
Okay, we can cut your hair if you want.
Yeah, I know. I'll just chop it all off. And then it'll
There
be
you go.
gone and out of the way.
Yep.
And I won't have to worry about it. Speaking of hairs,
Speaking of hair.
Bruce Marvel 88 says Odin has Superman hair right now.
Yeah. It's time for a haircut.
Did a little curl.
Yeah, it keeps happening. And of course, yeah. It's a little off center too.
I thought I
Which
would
way do
go
I
jump
It
out
goes
and get
this way.
haircuts right after this pandemic hit, and I just haven't yet.
Oh, okay. I've gotten a few, but the person that was cutting my hair is no longer cutting hair. So,
Really?
yeah, not a big deal, but, need to
Find someone else.
find someone else who I don't mind getting that close to.
Right. Definitely figuring that out this year.
Philip Dahl, Odin is making! Yeah, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome to everyone else makes. Hello, Dorian. Trash Panda Dorian's actually on because Trash Panda went off to work. He had to go dig dumpsters. But,
fun.
hey, Dorian. Smash the like. George says, smash that like button just like the Hulk do.
On your way in, if you like it, it boosts the numbers.
Yeah, it does. It really helps.
It is appreciated.
Jash does stuff is laughing along. Odin's making what? No way! Team Fortress 2 requests. Matthew Dias says, so you all probably don't care, but my hometown of England is 1-0 to Italy in the European Football Champion Final. It is coming home! Yes, someone else in Patreon was telling us that too. So that's cool.
Go, my favorite sports team, go.
Schultz Division says, my girlfriend is a hairdresser. That's awesome! You want to go to Denmark and get haircuts?
I wouldn't mind going to Denmark.
I wouldn't mind going to Denmark. I think that would greatly increase the cost of my $20 haircut.
Right? Yeah. I even have a friend still that I liked.
A First is asking about the Taskmaster's helmet. Saw the movie. Helmet looked awesome. I wasn't planning on making the helmet. I'm not sure why. I'm not feeling it. And I'm the helmet guy. But anyway, because I've got something else I want to make that's for something that's coming up, and then I got to get Mechagodzilla done. So if Black Widow's still going strong in 2-3 weeks, maybe.
So, if you want it, let him know.
Yeah, well,
I know.
they're trying. People have been asking, like, for the past 2 years this movie's been promoted. So, something about Loki's daggers. I should make a NeoPixel lightsaber for myself. Riot Chanda. I have no idea what a NeoPixel lightsaber is. I guess Google that. So I can highlight, and it can move while I'm doing it. And I can right click, and I can search Google for NeoPixel lightsaber. Premium NeoPixel blades and sabers by... Oh! NeoPixel lightsaber is literally a combat-ready, custom-made lightsabers. And they look like lightsabers.
Impressive.
They're actually using the term lightsaber, and they're actually using Millennium NeoPixel lightsaber profile. Wow. Where are you guys? Where are you guys out of? How are you? I'm just Saberforge and some of the other guys. I can't remember the other ones now. But they had to shy away from designs that were too close to the movies, and they couldn't use lightsaber.
That's why you have a beam saber?
Well, the beam saber is what Gundam said, but yeah, they had issues. That's interesting. Star Wars makes you happy. Company values. That's awesome. So this is ziasabers.com. That's Z-I-A Sabers. Zia Sabers? Zia Sabers? That's cool. Philip Dahl says, if I was a sorting hat, I'd put Odin Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. I got put in Ravenclaw, and I'm totally happy with that. Want to make a Red Hood helmet? That's one of those back burner projects that could happen at any time. Berms loves your dress.
Oh, thank you.
My first coat of red is almost dry. In fact, I'm only going to need the one coat it looks like. I've got a pretty good coverage on it. Now the sides still need to get painted, so they'll be red. Yeah. So I'll probably let this dry. I'll get the sides to the red, and then we'll do the metallic on top of it.
Right.
Ultra Sabers, thank you. Saberforge and Ultra Sabers, thank you, Jeff 3D. Both are great companies. I've seen their product in person, both at events and at cons, and yeah.
You drool over it.
I drool over it.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Right. I can whack people with this.
Yeah. Yes. John Jimenez from the Gamma. Yeah, he's totally into lightsaber battles and has. I don't know if it's an ultra. I think he's got ultra sabers, but yeah, it's way cool. Holly Stutchman is asking, "Hey Felicia, what version of the tiara are you making? Of the diadem?" I'm saying it wrong.
Wonder Woman comic book classic with the one point on the top,
right,
and the star, because she has the point on the top, the point on the bottom, or the double point.
Right.
You have options.
So this is the version that's used on most general merchandise.
Yes.
That isn't specific to a movie.
But it's the very first, not the very first Wonder Woman, but it's the
It's a classic
comic.
Wonder Woman classic.
Yeah, Wonder Woman classic.
And asking if I ever thought about making something from the Flintstones. Never gave it much thought. Not against it. Cartoon props are great because I'm totally down for doing something from the show. I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. It wasn't bad.
We had those costumes at the costume shop, and we made the big giant necklaces.
The big pearl necklace and.
Yeah. So we had Fred Flintstone with his big old bone, and we had Wilma with her necklace and the white outfit, and we had Betty and
Betty just had a choker, right?
Yeah, hers was just black, I believe.
Yeah, and Barney just didn't have pupils.
Yeah, he had brown.
To poke his eyes out when
Yeah. But I've done Flintstone costumes at the costume shop, but prop-wise, what would you like other than their car?
Right, exactly.
Because the car's the coolest part, right?
And I've seen that. I've seen people do that. I've seen the Flintstones car at Dragon Con.
Yeah, like they make it out of those barrels, those water storage barrels.
You could do great Gazoo stuff. I think it was Gazoo, right? He's not Kazoo, he's Gazoo. He's the Martian guy that pops up. You do hair.
Yeah, well, there's decent wigs, though.
George is asking, won't the golden paint crack when it's bent? Well, it's an acrylic, so we're hoping it won't. Generally speaking, it doesn't, because acrylic is generally flexible.
I think the Roscoe as a finish, like the way it finished there it is.
Right.
Like they could see it, but the Dragon Ball armor, the texture on top of it, I think that would be a good one to put on top. Or will it matte it?
It'll matte it.
I don't want to matte it. I'd rather just not do it than have a matted gold.
Michael says, oh my god, you should so make a Flintstones car.
Right? The car's the coolest prop. I can't think of anything cooler than that.
Right. So, young Mr. Trash Panda is saying, hi, Odin, I have a question for y'all. How do you decide which project you're going to make?
Off the top of my head.
Pretty much. For me, there's especially this last year was really rough. It was a lot of what was being requested, because nothing was coming out last year. This year stuff's coming out. So I'll do stuff that that will be released at the time that the stuff gets released, because there'll be a higher interest in it and I'll get more views on my video. Otherwise, I do pay attention to my requests. I have an ever-growing list, and I'll pull stuff from that list when I really don't know what to do for the week. Those are the two main things: what's coming out and what has been requested. On occasion, I build stuff that I want to build. Mechagodzilla is working. There's other things I've built in the past that I really wanted to make, like the tridimensional chess set from Star Trek. Video totally bombed. It wasn't worth the effort at all. So, yeah, it gets to be... It's a balancing act of what's going to get made and what's going to work.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to dry. I'm also dried to the paper, and the 1mm foam is so
Might actually
delicate.
tear.
Yeah, it can tear. So let me do the sides, and
Our
you can take the
fragile
controls.
sticker.
Fragile sticker.
Fragile sticker. Jeff 3D Model says the 60s, 70s Wonder Woman. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The one that Lyda Carter was based off of. That being the actress that played the show in the 70s.
Yeah, and I liked their interpretation of it, and it was fun. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Why not start with there?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I still remember the theme song and the animation. I remember because it was a really cool animated opening for that show.
Yay, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman!
Do-do-do.
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 Do-do-do-do-do.
What about the Flintstones TV or Bronto Burger? Maybe Kazoo helmet? It doesn't really feel like...
Right.
Yeah, it's like...
Is Flintstone suddenly back in fashion right now?
Right? I don't know, but now I want a burger.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah. Could you build anything from Doctor Who? You have done Doctor Who.
I've done one Doctor Who thing. I did Tom Baker's sonic screwdriver. I could make more from Doctor Who, because I definitely like Doctor Who, and there's a lot of villain stuff to do for Doctor Who. One of the really cool things about the Doctor is he took almost his entire run of television series before he used a gun. He was always just outsmarting and out-talking and out-thinking everybody. It wasn't an American show. He didn't go in blasting. It was great.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? You can solve problems without gunpowder? No!
What's diplomacy?
That's what you get in high school. You get a diploma. See? Mm-hmm. I got me a diploma.
King Fire and Green Fire, Demon Mob Boss, wants to know, I have a question.
I have a question.
What do you use to make foam into hard plastic?
To make foam into hard plastic. Okay.
Well, what's the application? What are you trying to actually do? Is the real question.
That's a real question. So there's an artist, Roger Dean. Being an older fellow, I'm familiar with the Yes album covers. So Roger Dean did a lot of very organic drawings. He loved the natural animal coloration and patterns. So one of the things he did as a 3D sculpt is he would make these kind of very organic looking houses. They were huts. It would be a lot of lattice work, so a lot of little bent pieces of wood to make this like mushroom top, and he would lay couch foam, the polyfoam, over it in order to get the really soft shapes. Mm-hmm. In order to make it a hard plastic, he would then brush it with fiberglass resin.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just brush it down with polyester fiberglass resin, do a couple of coats, and then paint it, and that would give it a really hard outer shell.
Yeah.
But that type of foam is porous, and the resin could actually seep into it.
Yeah.
EVA foam really isn't porous.
You'd be more laminating it than anything.
You'd be more laminating it, and you could potentially peel the EVA foam back out from the back side of it.
Yeah, so why not use plastic? Like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
It's really the real question. Like, do you need to support it with cardboard just to give it support? Do you need it?
Yeah, support it with Sintra.
Like, are you trying to give it a clear gloss coat? Like, what are you doing?
Right. I was recently thinking about how to do some other projects like Gartham and things like that. Other ideas that are larger, where I could sculpt a piece out of foam, because I'm used to working with foam, making a stone mold, meaning making a plaster of Paris mold, a real simple one. And then I could laminate it with something like creature cast and then backfill it with expanding foam in order to get the piece out of something, so I can work with the material, the foam, for the initial sculpt to get the look that I want, then transfer it into another medium. But that's a whole lot of steps, and there's some expense going on in there and time. So it's not something I'm going to do in a 1-week build. But I was just I was thinking about how to go about doing that. And Evil Ted was actually talking about that a while ago, was using foam to make something to mold from.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's a great material, but it's not the...
No, it's not the only material.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works well for what we use it for, but it definitely has limitations.
Yeah, definitely different applications. Am I making this worse or better? I don't care. I think it's
well,
sparkly.
usually, as long as you're not seeing...
brush strokes.
Yeah, brush strokes. Because usually I just do a stipple, very straight on and back up. At first it looked like you're still kind of brushing it. But yeah, I'm seeing...
I was more just trying to knock down strong.
Right, I am seeing that it's getting a texture, so this may not have been the right suggestion for me to tell you.
That's okay. I actually don't hate the texture because it feels like a pounded gold.
Okay. Well, it will dry a little bit flatter, but it's not going to dry flat.
Yeah, no.
You'd actually have to brush it.
As long as there's not brush strokes.
Yeah.
But go for it.
Oh,
Have fun.
Oh, I won't.
It's just gold.
It's just gold. I don't want to take it over from you.
I don't care. I'm over it.
Right, you just want it done.
Actually, I think we could also gold up the elastic itself a little bit. I just wanted to wait till after we attached it, you know?
Right.
But you could totally acrylic paint gold, the fabric gold, the elastic gold. And yes, it's going to break, but it's not going to make it stiff and unusable.
So I'm thinking I liked it.
Now there's strong brush strokes a little bit. Okay, could you make the Fallout school gamer? Pretty sure Odin uses, oh shoot, it all moved. Pretty sure Odin uses the foam because it's what he's used to and has been working with forever in any project. Foam is weird to me.
Foam is weird. Foam is quick. Foam is cheap.
Yeah, so when I was first trying to make Smosh costume armors that were weekly just whipping them out.
Right, a big superhero thing.
Well, even like Game of Thrones, I had to do them.
Oh yeah.
I made some of that armor was out of cardboard.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell because it was silver painted cardboard, so it could be the chest piece and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was really foam was not a medium I was comfortable with, or even knew how to source or anything like that. And I was using things I was used to, cardboard.
As you would,
fabric.
especially under crunch.
Yeah, because it's like, I need it this week, I need it next week, and I already needed it already, and it has to be done, and it needs to look like armor. And anyways, but you know, you worked with me.
I did.
And so I understand a little bit of the hesitancy of I don't understand foam, but oh my gosh, does it like solve all those issues?
It solves a great many issues. And the huge thing is it's a very low cost material.
In comparison to other materials that you could use.
Yeah, right. It's cheaper than vinyl. It's way cheaper than Worbla. It's cheaper than fiberglass. And fiberglass has so many other steps because it's paper mache liquid. You have to put it into something to get the shape you want. You can't just form it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand completely.
Right. Vacuum forming is wonderful. You need something hard to pull the vacuum over and a whole machine to use with it. There's just all these other things. So for rapid prototyping, for rapid one-off, the foam is great. It doesn't mean it's necessarily great for long-term something else going on, but yeah.
Yeah. Bruno, leave Toby alone. I hear Toby complaining, sorry.
Yeah.
I know that sound.
I'm hearing him. Yeah.
Like he went over there to get away from Bruno, and now he's over there.
Here, trying to get away from Bruno.
Because Bruno just loves him so much, and he's like, look, you're my chew toy.
Yeah.
It's okay. There it is.
I'm not Bruno's chew toy, and I get it.
Question for Odin. What is the worst you've ever been injured working on a project?
Not that bad, really.
Really?
Worst I've ever been injured. I've never broken a bone on a project.
Burns or cuts?
Oh, I've burnt myself a little bit, and I've cut myself a lot, but both were like go to the first aid kit level.
Okay.
I think the worst I've done was more repairs here in the building. I was putting up some insulation stuff in the roof, and I was on the scissor lift, and I had a clamp, a bar clamp, one of these guys, that was holding stuff to the safety rail. And instead of, if this is the safety rail, clamping it on this way so I'm here, right, that would have been smart. I clamped it on this way with me being inside the cab. So when I bent over to pick something up, I bent over and leaned forward and poked this right in the top of my head. And I had to go and get stitches. And that's it. I mean, it's really boring. I've never I watched my dad try to cut his hand off in a table saw, and I've had other uncles hurt themselves and get themselves burnt. So I've been really aware of that and try to make sure that I'm not endangering myself in that way. Because power tools, especially big spinny power tools, you get no reaction time at all.
No,
they're going to grab you and you're done.
Long hair.
Yeah, exactly. I had a friend with a long goatee that was it was set on a low level, but he was spinning and making things for the Ren Fair, wands for the Ren Fair. His goatee got caught up in the lathe because he's trying to get a picture of himself, and he took the picture anyway. But it was running slow enough that it hurt, but it didn't harm. So he was very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But and my dad was okay too. He got all of his fingers put back on and started his own. He started doing his own rehabilitation 2 or 3 weeks early because he's like, I'm getting movement. I'm just going to start stretching the tendons back out. And Dad ended up being fine, but his left hand was pretty gnarly because plastic without the right blade is scary.
Yeah.
And a table, but so how bad have I hurt myself? Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
I broke my collarbone riding a bike. You know, it wasn't working.
I broke my wrist just standing because my backpack weighed more than I did. Just got off balance, put my arm back, snapped my wrist.
That would do it.
Yeah, no, it was a backpack, and I just got off balance.
Yeah.
So, I understand stupid injuries.
Yeah.
I think my worst one is I got burnt by an iron.
Okay.
And
I was a kid. I burnt my leg. My dad's carburetor, his motorcycle, looked like a big bear claw. Yeah.
Anyway. Rowenta irons are the best irons. They get really freaking hot and are amazing, and I love them. But they also get really hot and are amazing, and I hate them. Yeah, anyways. So
no second chances.
Working at the costume shop for a bit, and their iron went out, so I was bringing my iron because it works so much better. Anyways, it'd been off for about 15 minutes, so I threw it in my car, not thinking much about it. And I just did this with my arm to reach for something, forgetting the iron was even there.
Right.
Like I said, been off for a solid 15 minutes, turned it off, had conversations, walked to my car, threw it in the car, not even thinking about it. And I burnt myself from here to here. The scar's gone.
Man.
But it just was like one of those, I touched it for a second, and it was like...
Yep.
It gets very hot. It works very well, but geez freaking Louise, the stupidest thing for 1 second, and yeah, it was a good iron though.
Yeah. So as boring as it may be, that's
you don't expect the boring things to get you.
Well, I mean that. I meant our answer is not that your iron was boring. But
no, I know, but I'm just thinking.
I don't have any big like, oh yeah, I did this thing, and
it's just like, oh, I overcut, and it is just stupid things, and it always is. I feel. Jort says fiberglass resin is really cool stuff, but not very cheap. I agree.
I agree, and I like the epoxy. So there's polyester fiberglass resin, and there's an epoxy resin. There's probably another one too, but. The epoxy fiberglass resin doesn't dissolve styrofoam, so that one's fun.
Yeah, styrofoam's an interesting material. It's just a very interesting material, I'm going to say that. Bruce Marvel 88, make a dino puppet. Have you thought about making...
dino puppet?
A dino. I think it was, somebody said, have you thought about making a prop from Jurassic World? And then he said, make a
dino puppet. Okay, well, Flintstones would be Dino.
Yeah, dino puppet, yeah. Odin, where's Thor? Oh, hey Odin, have you thought about making Jafar's staff or any kind of wand? Jafar, it's not really in the news right now, but it is
Right.
a good classic.
It's a good classic. A Jafar staff I'd be down
If you
for.
paint over that, you'll see what it looks like before you paint the star, because I don't know if I like that.
Right.
Because I
That's
do
why
like this.
I am. I'm liking this a solid red. I think
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to...
Hey guys, Odin, do you think maybe you could make the new Space Jam basketball, please?
I started to see the trailer for it, and I marveled at all the Ready Player One mashup of all the different characters that are running in there, King Kong and everything else, but I didn't notice the basketball.
You'll have to look.
Yeah.
So if you want him to build it, you have to mention, I guess.
Well, they did.
Yeah, no, I know. So,
I haven't been saying Michael James.
Michael James? Okay. Fiberglass
Apologies.
resin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me.
Go ahead.
Fiberglass resin is the way to go. Is the armor on shows, not the helmets, mostly foam, or is it mostly vacuum formed, or do you know?
I don't know.
From my experience in costume shops, a lot of it's plastic.
So probably vacuum formed.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers are vacuum formed.
Yeah, well, yes,
Yeah,
for sure. But
for sure. New Hope, they weren't. They were fiberglass.
yeah, because metal. It's a lot of mediums getting mixed together. I see it happen a lot, but I think it's mostly plastic and vacuum formed, and
Right.
even like the chainmail, they use the plastic.
Yeah, they use plastic.
Yeah.
I've seen plate mail. I've talked about this before, where they used fiberglass, but it was felt. Because
Yeah.
the thing that's rough with fiberglass, especially on a person, is the glass mat. It gets really pokey and cutty.
Yeah, but the felt makes sense
Yeah.
because you're just it's working the same way. Okay.
Yeah, it'll work the same.
Yeah.
And if you're going into a mold, you'll have the same finish on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's going to depend on the production, what they're doing. I think a lot it's vacuum formed, but I really don't know. Excalibur was all made out of aluminum. I don't know.
Michael James says fiberglass resin is cheap. You can pick it up at Walmart for $15 for a large can. That's cool.
Yep. It is pretty cheap.
Right.
But the idea of cheap changes from region to region. Like in Europe, a lot of things that are cheap to us here aren't cheap in Europe for various reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fiberglass is something I've been very interested in, but I haven't gotten into because it seems messy.
It is.
It seems really messy, and then it also just seems like
It's got a lot of fumes.
it just seems like kind of a bigger mess and of a project to contain. Like, it's not something I could just sit down, kind of work on, and walk away. It feels like it's
Right.
like kind of a commitment. Like, I am working on this project, and I am,
Yeah.
like this mess is going to be here till this project's done.
Pretty much.
Okay.
The last thing I did in fiberglass is I made the dome for that robot for the dancing video. I can't remember what it's called right now. Well, something we were doing with Gonzo, not the Muppet. Yeah, when I pulled a mold off of a yoga ball and then laid up fiberglass in it, and I think I did 3 or 4 layers until I was out of material. And it was the day commitment. You do it, and you give it a chance to set up,
Yeah.
but you have to go back and do the next layer before the first layer is fully cured, or the 2 layers won't fuse.
Yeah, which
And,
isn't
yeah.
to completely know on a project, but it's also a
Right.
reason why I haven't really,
Right.
explored those options. Because up till now, pre-pandemic, all my projects were like, I have a week to finish them, or I have
Right.
this much time, and it's always
Right.
crunch time. It's
Always crunch time.
always crunch time. Loki Desad 6 has a $10 super chat
Oh, sweet.
and says, given the release of Black Widow, we definitely need a Taskmaster mask or a Taskmaster face mask cover, given that we will likely need masks for the foreseeable future.
Right. All right.
Noted.
Noted. I did see the movie. I did pay attention to Taskmaster's mask. I did pay attention to the way it came apart in the magical, doesn't go anywhere digital movie bullshit thing that masks like that do. But all right, it's definitely a doable thing. There's a lot of panel lines. There's not a lot of there's a lot of places to put the cuts on the foam that end up being in the final piece. You don't have to go around and try and hide.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and the goggles could be ski goggles or paintball goggles. They're tactical goggles. That's basically all they are.
What they
Probably what they
original
used.
costumer
Yeah.
probably built them off of makes sense.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I love those people. They're my heroes. Flamin' Dragon Man says, hey, Odin, what's your next video? You'll have to see.
I've got one more Loki prop coming up. I have teased it and shown a picture to my patrons on Discord. And that's one of the perks of being a patron. But the video will be out Wednesday, and it's going to be my third Loki prop from the Loki series. And it'll be the last one I'm going to do for the moment. I'm going to take a break from Loki for a little bit.
Yeah, he has to pretend he has other sons.
Yeah, I got to pretend I have other sons. I have other interests other than the one Marvel series I've been most excited about since they announced it. I mean, What If is coming out on August 11th, and that should be really cool. I was still way more excited for Loki.
Michael James says, I totally remember being stationed in Germany. Crazy expensive. And you're right, Felicia. It's messy and takes tons of experience. I've worked with it for 20 years. LOL, so I forget. Makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I go, oh yeah, no, this is super easy. And then you realize, no, I've been working and I have all this experience, so I know what I'm doing at this point. But then...
I know how to set up to avoid the problem to begin with. Right.
Right? No, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't know these things until you make these mistakes. Just saying.
I didn't mark which one it was.
Speaking of Excalibur, Marius Showmaker, speaking of Excalibur, which version of the Sword of Promised Victory would you love to build? Haven't you built?
I have not built an Excalibur.
You have not?
I have not. Adam Savage has a couple of them.
Okay.
Thank you for confusing me with Adam Savage. I can see why. I would have to look at the different versions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have one. The one that came up as a request once had to do with the Sword in the Stone, the Disney.
Yeah.
Which is a version of Excalibur.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How are we doing on time? Just in the corner down there.
We still have about a half an hour to get this thing finished, and I think we'll be able to make our...
Okay.
This is painted. I just was going to give it a little bit of a back.
Cool.
Eventually, but that doesn't need to be...
Eventually.
It's not necessary. It's not going to...
Yeah.
I kind of like it, but...
So asking about cracking paint. If this was spray painted, it would 100% crack first time you bent it. Acrylics usually are a lot more forgiving. And since this is just wrapping around a head, it's going to be a constant gentle curve.
It looks pretty on camera. Gosh darn it, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That's also partially with me trying to drag the lines. That helps with some of that too.
Experience.
So the acrylics, I think, do okay. I think Detlef was asking about that. Versus, spray paint would totally crack.
Yeah. So, one of the benefits of not being able to spray paint today, right?
It's a little dark, but I like it.
I kind of like it, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm glad you did a practice spot because that one looks awful, but that one looks good. And which one's the one that looks bad and which one looks good?
I think I'm using Regal Red. This is Folk Art Metallic Regal Red versus Folk Art Garnet Red versus Folk Art Bright Red.
Yeah,
because the other ones have a bit more maroon to them. So I think the Regal Red.
Regal has that regal feel for her tiara, so I think it works.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have guessed that, the color.
Dries a different color, yeah.
It does.
And if it ends up being way, way wrong, then I'll just cover it up with Plastic Fix again.
3 coats of paint as opposed to 2.
It'll still only be just a little more than a millimeter thick.
Hey, Odin. Richard Stroth says, have you thought about making Rejuvenator from Steven Universe? It's the scythe, but the blade is a lightsaber blade.
No, I've not thought about. I'll be honest, I haven't watched Steven Universe, and it's nothing against the show. I just haven't stopped to give it a chance. So no, I haven't thought about it. There's a shield and another sword that comes up a lot from Steven Universe.
Yeah, I did like that show. It was a good one. I did enjoy it. I think Peridot was like one of my favorites, but that's my birthstone, so.
Oh, okay.
It's Reynards. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, everybody. I really do apologize.
Right.
Says, hey, Odin, love your channel. Also love the collabs with Felicia. She seems awesome. Aw, thanks.
She is.
Much love from England.
Oh, awesome.
And then Jeff 3D Model says, yep, Excalibur was all aluminum made by Terry English.
That's it, yep.
That's awesome, but would that be con appropriate?
Yeah, it's just armor.
Aluminum?
So aluminum for your plate armor? Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Because it's not they wouldn't veto that because it's not a bladed weapon. It's not a prop in your hand. You're wearing it, right? Okay. No, there may be
That makes
cons that
sense.
would say no, but to my knowledge, that would pass because it's weapons check.
Yeah, no,
So-
seriously, anytime we rented weapons, it was like, where are you going? Are you going to a private party?
Right.
Are you going to an event, like, before we could allow real swords out of the,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
we didn't want our swords getting confiscated and not returned. And also, please make sure we gave out the guns with the orange tips as opposed to the theater guns that didn't have those, which were technically...
Technically illegal.
So weapons check is always on the back of my mind. Can you do it? Are you
Is
going
that
to be
going to
allowed?
be okay? Are you going to get in trouble walking from your car to the venue?
How drunk are you going to get? Are you going to forget this accessory?
You know
You
what?
do not want to have to babysit this. Do you have a way to attach it to you? Don't lose your gun.
Not something I think about. I have been to a con where you had to zip tie your prop to you. And that was
Annoying?
bullshit.
Yeah. But you have to think about these things because you put it down and bye. All that work. Anyways,
Yep.
yeah. You've had a few experiences with that and I feel
Right.
bad.
No, that
Sorry
one-
to bring it up.
No, that one's very much a, yep, I need a refund. I'm out of here.
Yeah. It's Renard says said their name perfectly. I probably butchered it this time
sweet.
now. Can't wait to see the finished piece. Yes. And Jort says Nolan Films classic Wonder Woman tiara. Yes, classic Wonder
Yes.
Woman tiara.
Nolan films.
Richard Stroff. Hey Odin, have you thought about making the chest of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean? But that-
The chest of Davy Jones. Oh, the chest of Davy
Yeah,
Jones.
but is that from the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Is that like the standout prop?
Well, it is definitely okay, it may not be a standout prop, but it's definitely a very
Very-
iconic, specific,
That's what I
and
said.
it's not very big, and it's got a good look. It's a much more reasonable sized chest to make than the one that had all the Aztec coins in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
because it's a little chest.
No, it makes
It's probably very realistic pirate chest size, because once you fill something like that with gold, you're not picking it up.
Right. We did his bandanas at the costume shop, and I feel like that's really what made his costume. Like no
For
matter
Jack Sparrow, yeah,
for
yeah.
anything. So I was like, when we go iconic, well, let's go.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm
'cause
like,
Davy Jones has got a hat and tentacles.
yeah,
Davy Jones is way cool.
he is. Good. It's not easy of a costume.
No. They didn't even make it for the movie. He wore a mocap suit
Right.
and makeup around his eyes and mouth that they still barely used.
Yeah. Marius Shoemaker says Adam Savage
Schumacher?
Showmaker.
My glasses are off. There's words in the screen. What does he say?
Adam Savage's version of King Arthur's armor was entirely built from aluminum.
Yes. Because he built it with Terry English under his tutelage, using the same materials, tools, and techniques. Especially the big, oh gosh, I knew what it was called until I was going to say it. But there's a special tool, English wheel, that's used specifically for bending the metal. It's these two wheels that come together, and you can adjust the tension between them that causes a different curve in the metal. And it's something that's used for making fenders for automobiles or armor. And it's called an English wheel.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a
Oh my
very
gosh.
specific prop, a very specific tool.
Yeah, getting curves bent into straight
Yeah.
up. Yes, I understand the frustration of how that tool could come about.
Most of my SCA friends would
quite
hollow out the top of a tree log, right? Like a piece of firewood you haven't cut up. You hollow out the top of it, you lay your metal on it, and you just start banging on it with a ball-peen hammer. And because there's a void, it's a bowl, right? There's a void in the middle. It would start denting the metal and creating a curve into it. But then you'd have to work the metal to smooth it back down to being the crazy chrome finish that they had in Excalibur.
Yeah, elbow grease.
Elbow grease.
For sure.
Might do a
Marius Showmaker says, I'm Dutch. Well, congratulations. That's probably why I'm destroying your name, and I'm sorry. Jeff 3D Model says it's more along the lines of a captain's chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, it seems to me like knowing how heavy gold is, and it's actually heavier than lead, that would make sense. That size of a chest to put stuff in.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good. And are the edges done?
I'm not worried about the edges the edges are done. I'm not worried about making sure the edges are metallic.
Yeah.
They're red, so
Yeah,
good,
that's important.
Good enough.
I want to run this through the sewing machine before we go, but I really want it to dry a little bit more. We have
Okay.
time to let it dry. But...
Right. Well, I'm doing a second coat of metallic red, and I keep touching it, ruining the points.
Right?
Because I have nowhere to touch
Hold
on
it
this.
too? Yeah.
Right. If a smart man would have put down a bit of blue tape and stuck it down, but he didn't show up today.
Yeah. Brains working.
Brain's working. I do have a little bit of crumbly in it, which is a bummer, but it'll be fine. Yeah. It's got a bit of lump in the paint.
Yeah.
But I think I am done fiddling with the star.
I think I'm going to make a mess and just do a little bit of a coat of gold, just a light one.
Sure.
Because I don't like the white and...
Was there not black?
Well, I don't want... No, there wasn't black.
Okay.
And I didn't like the black. Just wondering if any of these... It's not a necessary step. Like you said, it's going to be covered by hair, but...
Yeah, but the white will poke through the hair a lot easier than like a darker color would.
Right?
Let's see, we've got... The chest of gold is easily 300 plus pounds. Yeah, definitely. That's Jeff 3D Models. Selena Nelson, or Kellison, there's no N in there. Hey Odin, I hear you like Guar. Do you like Slipknot? I'm not sure how many Slipknot songs I've heard. I haven't gone out of my way to listen to Slipknot. I'm not against them. I'm not going to badmouth them. The look is cool, but Guar is so exaggerated, so Citadel miniature, so evil Muppet. I just like that look a lot.
Evil Muppets.
Evil Muppets.
It's an aesthetic.
Richard Stroh is asking if we thought about making Barbossa hat or anything else from Pirates of the Caribbean. I haven't made anything Pirates yet. And the one thing that has been requested more than anything else from Pirates is Jack's compass.
Yeah, that would be an iconic one.
That would be an iconic one, yeah.
But Jack Sparrow's a great costume. We rented him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was one of my favorites. And like I said, that gauze headscarf with the beads. Such a simple detail, but it always went Jack Sparrow.
Yep,
As
totally
soon
does.
as you added that, even with the wrong tricorn hat, you had that red.
Totally have. The air compressor. The air compressor kicked on, so the dogs got excited.
Evil air compressors.
Right.
All right, all done. Thank you, Toby. Look at that being Have. Bruno's not, but Toby is.
Someone has asked me if I'm Lego Man 2597. That's February 5th, 1997. Are you up to date with the Bad Batch? No, I am not. I have not caught up with Bad Batch yet. Can I make an everlasting gobstopper from Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka?
Well, if you make it out of plastic, it won't ever dissolve.
It'll never dissolve.
Oh my gosh, and then if it's that plastic that has that little sweet... Oh, it's probably carcinogenic.
Someone else is asking, Henry Jarville is asking me if I'll ever modify my Stormbreaker axe.
No, it is the way it is.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
People can look at it backwards and know that was the one, so no, I'm not going to change it. If I was to modify the Stormbreaker axe, it would actually be easier to just make a new one. And at this point in time, until I see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm not worried about Stormbreaker.
Right. I'm excited about that one.
I am. I got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. It's another fun, Thomas Hughes TV is asking if I've done a proton pack from Ghostbusters. I haven't done anything Ghostbusters. You have. I haven't done anything Ghostbusters. There was a new movie coming out like a year and a half ago, and so I was planning on maybe trying to do something. Still am. That's coming up in November. Proton pack, no. What I'm excited about doing actually is the PKE meter.
More of a handheld device? Is that?
Yeah, that's a handheld device, the
Yeah.
one that would read the psychokinetic energy that had the little arms that popped out, that then got rented to a number of other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those things.
Yeah.
You know, I thought all that ghost stuff was crazy, but then I was working on a project for Facebook of all people, like a commercial. Anyways, we got to follow around some ghost hunters here in Sacramento. These people are really fun. And they had those machines.
Right.
And it was crazy because we had like the Xbox thing that they had.
Right.
That shows
The Kinect.
Yeah, the Kinect that shows like where people's joints are in a room.
Uh-huh.
And they had that wired up to a iPad.
Right.
And we were in the room, and there was like, oh, look, there's somebody over here. It was weird. It was crazy. I have it on film, and I'm like, I don't believe this stuff anyway. It's still in my camera, but yeah, the Ghostbusters. I'm like, now I
Right.
want to do a movie where, like, okay, let's just assume ghosts are real.
Sure.
And we can interact with them with the Xbox thing. You know,
Oh,
can we
okay.
do like a talk show where we have the same ghost on every time, and he like goes bing, bing.
Space Ghost, coast to coast.
Right? Doesn't that sound interesting?
Right.
I don't know, but yeah, that's what I think of when I work Ghostbusters now, like those little reading devices. I'm like,
Tobin Spirit Guide.
I wasn't a believer, but then I saw stuff I couldn't unsee.
Right.
You think those shows are all made up, and I did too.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I love the guys, the ghost hunters. I think it was ghost hunters, the guys that were ex-plumbers. And they would come into haunted houses, and one of the things they would routinely do is replace
check
the
plumbing.
old iron pipe with brass pipe or copper pipe. And because the temperature difference between the hot water and the cold water, and at night the pipes would change and creak, all of a sudden it's not haunted anymore, because that's what it was.
Makes a lot of sense.
A lot of it was that, yeah.
A lot of sense.
It's not always that, but that is
I
the
know.
easiest mundane explanation. Chris Stuckman is making a movie about ghost hunters. Cool. Thanks, Jorts.
That's awesome.
Ralph Stroh says, I can see Odin pulling off the Davy Jones look for Halloween. Thank you. Ralph Morick says, paranormal. That's just another word for BS.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maker JP says there's some good weapons in the new Witcher season. Yes, Kara Skywalker and a few others on the Discord were showing the new trailer coming up. And of course, this is Maker JP, who was working on the new season and has seen all this stuff and is getting to finally get to talk about it.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited. I genuinely love this world and characters. That
Yeah.
I definitely geeked out enough to start doing this over it. You know?
Yeah. We built a Witcher outfit for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fascinated, that's for sure.
It was very cool.
Oh, look, that's already dry.
Trash Panda. So this is Trash Panda Jr. Hey, Odin, do you have any tips on how to make a small prop dagger out of only foam?
Well, depends on how small and how stable. And
Depends on how small and how how small, how stable. Because craft foam is still going to be wibbly wobbly. There's no way around it. So
you can put something as a.
you have to put something in it. A chopstick.
Cardboard. Well, like the heavy.
Okay, with super heavy cardboard. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
just
more
like-
like wood.
Well,
Yeah.
I was talking about the stuff you get from the pallets. Because if it's a small dagger and you use that heavy, it's pretty dense.
it's still
but
not
yeah,
gonna
you
be
get
enough.
one vent in it and
Yeah,
it's
it's-
gonna be
yeah.
gone. Just chopstick.
Yeah, chopstick, kite spars, the little graphite pieces you put in kite wings. Sintra foamed PVC board. You want to use that instead. It takes a little more to work with than EVA foam, but it's still easy to work with. That's strong enough to hold itself on it all by itself. So I don't know. I do know, but I don't know.
Yeah, but no, you cannot make it just from foam and think it's going to work perfectly. You probably could from the stuff we just cut this out of. Make those
Right.
little. I'm imagining those ninja throwing.
Oh yeah, the little
Like
get
those-
over here, that thing.
Those I could totally see making out of foam and throwing at it people and not reinforcing with like sticks and stuff. But those are only about this big.
Oh, looks like it might have got picked up and moved.
What are you looking for?
Sylvie's sword. That may have
Made-
it was sitting here until I went to go and get it. So Joe may have moved it. That's fine.
Probably took pictures
But
of it.
my most recent build on the channel is Sylvie's sword, Lady Loki's sword, and that was this foam. It was all what the foam, but it still had an 8mm graphite tube as a core.
Yeah. So.
Mega JP is saying, yeah, they're putting a lot into this IP, into this putting a lot into The Witcher.
Yeah, as
So-
long as they don't like Game of Thrones the ending,
Oh gosh, yeah, please no. Can we just?
which
yeah.
they technically can't because the ending's already been. It's the video games. The video games happen post video.
Right,
Movie,
unless they decide they're just going to go off the rails and do their own thing.
They kind of, in a little bit of a way, did but you know, it's making stuff. Everybody makes it their own way, but I appreciate the world and the effort and the energy, and you can tell it's made by people who are big fans.
Right.
You know. It's almost there.
It's almost there.
I think we could probably stick this on there, but
That's
not
kind of what
sew
I was
that
thinking.
last piece.
I'm also wondering. No, it's fine. We can just stick it on. We don't have to worry about it being bent.
Yeah, because it is such a thin, and it is so.
Right. Because
I'm gonna let you do that.
Since
though.
it's two different layers, oftentimes I want to glue it
Pre-curve it
on
while
with
it's
the
curved.
curve. Yeah. Probably really should do that.
Then let's
Here,
do that.
let's.
Use my iron.
Oh, okay.
And just. And I'll hold it, and then you can tape it or glue it. You want to use super glue or
Probably. I think super glue is going to be the
glue
easiest.
cap?
Yes, the blue cap, please. Yep.
Here, I'm going to try these sides.
Thank you. Who
Should
knew?
we put the camera forward?
Yeah, that's a little out of focus.
Should I move it? So
Get
it's
my
in
hand out
focus?
of the way. It just happens to be a little bit taller than. Come on. I don't mind it being crazy close. This is a great shot of me, generally speaking.
There
So
you go.
Cut. Stick us back in the corner, sort of, a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah, figure out
there.
where it is. There it is. All right.
There, that's a good spot to stick it.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna take. I got a little bit of. I got a little. You can see a little bit of paint on it. It's a little imperfect because I just painted directly over the foam. I didn't seal the foam.
Yeah.
But rushing.
We're not in a hurry. We have time to get this done right.
Michael James says, "Have a great day, guys. Internet hugs. Internet hugs back to you, Michael."
Hugs.
We got, hey Odin, me and my brother, this is Lucas Goodwin. Me and my brother are going to try to make our own lightsabers based on your video with Beyond Geek. Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Somebody recently on Instagram was saying that they were having a problem with some of the electronics, and it wasn't something I could
Really
really
explain?
diagnose over just the Instagram post, as well as I barely know electronics well enough to make it work while I'm on set and doing it. It's not like, oh yeah, you need to adjust the flim flam and then the effluvial dampener will work out just fine, but make sure the hydrospander is calibrated. I don't. It's electronics. Don't let the smoke out. The magic smoke out.
All right. And we're curved.
I'm gonna do this one. That's the nicest looking point. This one I'll do
it.
up. Okay. That's really thick. It's one of those things where I'm not afraid to
Overglue?
just do one point and then pick up the other points and get them after the fact,
Okay.
instead of trying to make all the points happen at once.
Yeah.
Touch. Oh, I think I'm leaving fingerprints in the gold. It's sticking to me. And that's crooked, isn't it? It's also permanent. Is that crooked? No, it looks. It's probably crooked. I do everything crooked.
That's good to me.
That's good to you?
Looks
Oh,
good
good.
to me.
Okay, good. Oops. So it's, yeah.
Camera. There it is.
Camera, there it is. Is that
That's
focus? That does look pretty straight. So on camera, finally, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Feeling a little better about that.
Yeah. Looks pretty straight to me.
Saw how quickly the this particular super glue just grabs, and I like it.
Right. After having to deal with everything trying to dry real quick and
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Holly Stutzman. Odin, my son wants to know if you were a Lego, what props would you have? Would you do a Space Jam or Space Jam 2 prop? Those are two different questions. If I was a Lego, what props would I have? So I'm old. I really like classic Lego space, so I'd probably choose like the classic Lego torch.
I would build an Odin Makes workshop and put all the Marvel heads.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. It's a little make an Odin Makes workshop Lego set with a lot of the
Marvel.
All right, that sounds like a great idea.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bulldoze your thing,
that's
but that's
great.
how I would build an Odin Makes little
Yeah.
set. I would make a little maker, and then you'd have your glue pot, and you'd have your
Make it.
yellow,
Yeah, no, that's
your green
doable.
board
Well, that's a great idea.
with all your foam. of Lego sheets, you know.
Yeah.
So Lucas Godwin wants to know, are we making a Wonder Woman cosplay? Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good guess. Or maybe it actually looks good enough that they can tell.
Right? So there you go.
Got it.
VG Gamer 31 says, Tu nam le men commentero value messimo. I have no idea what it says, but that's my best attempt. It's in a
Oh,
different
yeah. No,
language.
that's not going to happen for me. You did better than I would. I can't even make a reasonable joke because it's just not cool.
Yes.
I'm a product of the American education system. I barely speak English. I speak American. I don't even speak English.
I speak a Californian.
Yeah, exactly. I speak a
Dude.
regional dialect that was loosely based off of English.
That's like hella cool. Dude, that's what I speak.
Awesome!
Henry Jarville says, by the way, Odin, I'm really inspired by your work and have been a longtime fan of the channel. I'm young, inspiring maker, and would ask you, would you ever take an apprentice? And if you would, well...
Right. I would imagine the princess would have to be local, and I don't know. A while ago, an easy answer would have been, I don't think so. But, yeah,
You're growing.
I'm growing.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities
No,
if
it's
you're
not.
local. Just saying.
It'd be really hard to do an apprentice that wasn't in the shop.
Yeah. VG Gamer 31. I'm Brazilian, just making fun. I figured, and I was playing back.
So I was very carefully spreading super glue on the underside of the points to try and get all the points to glue down. Because if all the points aren't glued down, you know that'll catch on hair, and the second time you put the tiara on, you'll have 4 points and a thing. Yeah.
Smells like a
Smells
freshly
like-
painted room.
Yep. Freshly painted room. Smells like super glue. That's a Nirvana song, by the way. No, it's not.
Jeff 3D Model says, yes, do it, Odin. The next Lego build day. Lego Odin Makes.
Lego Odin Makes.
So you make a little table, and then you make your little counters.
triangle set with a this is the doable thing.
And then just like Captain America's shield and swords and stuff, and put them as your background props.
Henry says, well, I live in the UK. Look up James from Rebel Base Build. Yep.
Yeah, see if he's looking for an apprentice.
Yep. Or, and James actually is a teacher by trade, so
He might be more empathetic.
you might be more empathetic, yeah.
Sympathetic? Oh, I don't know.
Dorian McClevely says, can you say hi, Dorian McClevely, because it would really make my day, please. Hi, Dorian McClevely. Usually at that point, my joke is saying, no, I can't say hi, Dorian McClevely, but hello, Dorian McClevely. I hope I said that. McKelvey. Hi, Dorian McKelvey. It's E-L, not L-E.
Yeah.
Rude mit Flud. Schultz's. Yeah. A moose once bit my sister. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I want to sew this, but I don't want to wait for it to stop being tacky.
Heat gun it. Not heat gun. Hair dry it.
Hair dry it, but
Hair
that's
dry.
noisy.
It is,
I could just wait and be patient. You can also
in theory. We're down to the last 10 minutes. So do you
Okay,
want to just super glue the?
Yes! Let's super glue one side.
Okay,
See if it holds up just as well. I will let you do that. This is the marker.
that's the marker. Okay.
Well, see how it goes on the inside to there.
Yeah, there's an
That's the
inside of
marker.
there. So I want to put glue on this side to that point.
Yes.
Okay. Spread it out so it's not quite an ocean deep. Make sure I don't have the strap curved.
Right? No Mobius straps.
No,
That's-
we're not making a Mobius prop. Can I talk about the Loki TV series just for a minute? Just really quick.
Spoiler alerts.
No, theory alert. So, theory alert. Is anyone else, do you mind? I'm not giving you a chance to really say no. Maybe I shouldn't do it. But it's totally my own sort of thing. This is not based off of anything at all. But isn't Mobius just going to turn out to be a variant Loki? Would certainly explain his fascination with himself. Give that a little bit longer, or it'll be stuck to your hair.
Yep.
Stephen Daichi says, sorry I've been quiet tonight, but this COVID is kicking my ass. Holy crap, are you actually sick?
I'm so
Steve, I'm sorry.
Virtual hugs.
Yeah, virtual internet hugs. I'm sorry. That's not cool at all. But thanks for watching.
Yes.
Dorian seems happy. That's awesome. Weird Al smells like Nirvana is now playing in Jort's head. That's awesome. Game Guy says, I love the Loki series. Yeah, me too. Totally. Lucas has asked me about building a prop from the game E10. I don't know the game E10 at all. I should build Lord of the Rings sword. And Ralph was saying, no. Mobius is going to be a variant of Kang. That would be interesting. That could work.
Did it rock your theory?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
That could be interesting because if it's a Kang variant, although I'm sure Kang being a time-traveling Marvel villain, like classic Kang the Conqueror, would he even have a variant of himself? Would he allow that to happen? But having a variant of himself working within the TVA, which he probably set up, as a way of culling all the Lokis, if that was the only threat, that could make sense.
Theories.
Cliff says, I think most of the TVA agents are Loki variants. Slovenia? So, Zyvan Mata Jurgic. Man, I'm so sorry. Hi! I'm from California and I can barely pronounce anything because I have I have a language that is so lazy they don't bother to use accent marks to show you how to pronounce anything, which in turn means...
And we never follow our own rules on top of that.
Well, we don't follow our own rules.
Yeah.
Which also in turns means they never bothered to teach us that stuff in school. You actually had to elect to take that stuff in higher education to learn what accent marks are and how they affect the vowels. Mm-hmm. Got no idea. Burai has asked us a couple of times. It has a saying, not a saying, it has a Saban, Saban, Power Rangers logo on his thing. Anyway, you made the Power Sword. Would you make the Dragon Dagger? Eventually. Actually, I was looking at needing to do a Power Rangers thing soon because it's been a bit.
So, I like Power Rangers.
So I want to do Mechagodzilla feet. That has to happen in the next 2 weeks. I have a prop that's finished that's coming out in a week. I have an unnamed prop they're going to start working on tomorrow. So I would be cool with doing Power Rangers super early.
I like Power Rangers.
Cool.
Power Rangers are fun.
Power Rangers are fun. You're a Loki. Everybody's a Loki. Yep, Jorts, that's right. Something about the daylight ring has come up a few times from Charbel for the Vampire Diaries. I haven't watched the Vampire Diaries. And...
That's holding up pretty good.
Making a ring. Oh, good.
Yeah, the ring, sorry.
No, it's okay. You're checking out the prop.
No, I was interested in the ring because I'm like, have you made a ring before? And then what size would you do it?
I would need to look at the daylight ring because if it's one of those rings that covers like the entire section to digit versus the one ring or Green Lantern's ring, which is this big clunky. It's not clunky.
Did you make a Green Lantern's ring yet? No.
I haven't made any rings.
Well, yeah, I was going to say those are kind of tiny for you and dainty.
Yeah.
Because you don't work on that scale often.
And it'd be hard to have that scale on camera.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Huh. Tommy and Kimberly in the house. I don't know.
Tommy and Kimberly from Power Rangers.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yes, I liked Kimberly.
Jeff 3D Models is saying, yeah, Ravonna Renslayer is Kang's inside man, or would that be woman in the TVA? It is woman, because Ravonna is Kang's girlfriend, right? Isn't that canon in the comics? Dorian's asking about if I can make a Power Ranger morpher. That's a little high.
Yeah, it is a little high.
But you got the issue of trying to make it fit with the hair in the back. Because another idea is to do those combs where it just grabs your hair if you've got enough hair to make it stay. Is that too loose for you?
It is a little bit on the looser side, but I also didn't want to like ruin it, so I can tighten it up more in the next one. Thank you, Odin.
You're welcome. I've had long hair.
You've had long hair? Yes,
I've had long hair in the past.
I've seen your photos. Okay. There you go.
Okay, well, you just put it back up at an angle again, but whatever. Because it's...
But now I can adjust it once it's on.
Oh, okay.
If I can. I'm working off of a mirror, not a mirror.
Well, no, yeah, you're working off of the monitor, which, yeah. I end up moving my arms to make sure which way I want to go, and then I'll grip and do what I want to do.
Okay, so one thing I would do off the bat, first off,
Yeah?
is put a piece of fabric inside of there.
Okay.
You know why? Because it's hot. Today's
Yes.
a hot day, so it exasperates it.
Yes. Foam is an insulation material, so
Yes.
that totally makes sense. So what type of fabric would you put in there?
Any type of fabric, cotton preferably, but I would just do like
Do you
even
want
a piece of felt just glued right here, just sweatbands.
Sweatpants.
You know?
Now, since it's still be backed with foam and be put on with adhesive, are you still going to get the breathability of fabric? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just a layer between, so it's like wearing socks with shoes.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
That there is a description I've never been told before, and that makes so much sense.
Yeah, like, as somebody who's worn a lot of hats and wigs and stuff like that and understands it gets hot and uncomfortable, just like even on your, the Wanda crown thing you did.
So like a bit of black...
Yeah, this would be perfect. This is amazing fabric. I love those stuff. Can I get a yard of this? I need it for a swimsuit I'm making. Anyways.
I would say, hey, Cara, mind if I use the fabric that you and Princess Squib left in the shop? But they're
It's not
watching,
yours? Okay.
They're off seeing Black Widow. I'm sure they wouldn't miss a yard. There's they bought the whole thing here.
Because this fabric is the density I was looking for in a specific black fabric, and I could show you the picture, and you'd be like, yes, that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, this has got a good it's rayon, nylon, spandex.
Rayon, I love rayon. It's one of my favorite fabrics because it's cool to the
rayon.
touch.
Oh, okay, cool.
So automatically that's great for sweatband in general too.
Yep, knit solid, refined, pont solid black.
Yes, no, I can appreciate this right now very much.
Somebody was asking if I've seen the Tomorrow War.
Use your fabric scissors.
And that has Loki Theory, Mobius, not Morbius. Morbius is a living vampire. That's coming out as a Sony movie. That's just a theory, no theory. Anyway, someone's asking if I've seen the Tomorrow War. I haven't. If I can get some of the things I need to get done today for tonight, I might actually watch that tonight. George says there's no need for a tiara, Felicia. You are Wonder Woman.
Aww.
Jeff's 3D models. Is that a stretch fabric? Yes, it is.
It's a stretch knit. It's a dense stretch knit. And normally I'd say go for a cotton, but I love rayon. It's my favorite fabric. It's naturally cool to the touch.
This is a 4-way stretch too.
Yeah.
And this is a really heavy fabric. This is a millimeter thick.
Yeah.
The fabric all by itself is a millimeter thick.
I felt it and went, wow, I love the density of this stuff. It feels nice. It's a good fabric.
Stephen Daichi says, what's for lunch today, guys? I'm told that when Joe ran out to buy lunch, he got me a poke bowl that's sitting in the fridge waiting.
Okay.
So I've got that. Good night, Schultz. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be wrapping up here in just a minute. We're actually at the wrap-up mark.
Yep, I'm just going to glue this piece of fabric in.
Cool.
And then we'll be done with this project.
Nice. How do you want to glue it in then?
Super glue.
Okay.
Just make it easy peasy. I need to cut off a cord.
Dorian's asking Snapchat name. I don't have Snapchat. If I did, it would be Odin Makes.
I do not have Snapchat either. I'm sorry.
Fun at home. Can I do an Iron Man helmet? That is one of those projects that at first I was afraid to take on because I figured I'd make derpy Iron Man. And at this point I could totally do it, but I keep doing other stuff instead.
So eventually.
The Trash Panda asked, hey Odin, could you please make a Beskar credit? Or Beskar credit. It's a Beskar ingot. I actually had some people come by and visit, and they gifted me one. Now this is 3D printed and then painted, but I've got a Beskar ingot that was given to me by I think his name was Michael.
So, did they include the 3D file to print it off of?
No, but it's findable.
Findable.
Yeah. But it's cool. I think it's really cool.
So, is there any way particular you'd start with this gluing before I get going? I was going to start from this side and go that way.
Pretty much. I wouldn't try to do the whole thing at once. I'd probably do
from the
a
side.
third to a half or something, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to get started and then...
And if you want, you can take a piece of scrap foam and use that as a spreader. Maybe. It's gonna be
Maybe. That might
better
actually
than your
work.
fingers.
Yeah.
Because
Probably
one
is.
issue is it might bleed all the way through the fabric.
It is. Ooh, it gets warm. It gets hot.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Crazy, right?
crazy glue. Different product.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Henry Jarville is saying, fun fact. This is not, but because he's giving his email, so it's not coming up standard. Fun fact: I have seizures in my sleep, and sometimes my energy is so drained I can't even walk the day. And I'm autistic, so if you want to get details, well, just ask me. Well, all right.
That's crazy. My friend,
Crazy, yeah.
when I was growing up, she had that, but she also had narcolepsy.
George says, Tomorrow War is just lame. Or at least I think it is. The others might like it, but, I didn't. Anyone has their own opinion. I'm not expecting a good movie. I can look at Tomorrow War and go, oh, yeah. Not only is this written by the numbers, we have let's grab generic Alien B from the digital file, modify it so it looks good, maybe. But it's going to need to have some kind of reveal that's beyond what we've seen in the trailer in order for it to really kind of work, because it's a video game plot at best. Dulkis is asking if I'll make a Bad Batch helmet or prop. I made a tech helmet. I started working on a Wrecker helmet, but other things came up and Wrecker didn't happen. Oh, did you get...
I got a little...
Did you get... it peeled. Did it get stuck onto the glue or just get stuck to the paint?
I think it got stuck on the paint.
Oh,
But just one little spot. I can touch that up with a little...
Right.
But, yeah.
All right.
It is what it is.
We already talked about Albert from the Owl House, and already talked about how I don't know what Owl House is, Charbel, so I don't mind as you keep re-asking, but we've answered once. Dakota the Plush King. Hey, Odin, would you do the... Odin, what would you do if you could go inside of a Pokeball? Would you make a tiny little home out of it? I've seen artwork like that online, where it is a little Pikachu man cave inside of the Pokeball, which would make sense, because if the Pokemon can gain the benefit of walking while in a Pokeball, then they can't be in a state of suspended animation, which would make a little more sense inside the Pokeball. So they've got to be alive and aware in there. But at the same time...
It's like, is it like the inside of a genie lamp?
Yeah, like the inside of a genie lamp. But at the same time, how many Pokemon just are wild and happy in the sun and then live isolated inside of a Pokeball?
It sounds awful.
It kind of does.
The whole concept of Pokemon sounds awful. Let's catch animals and
cool.
fight them,
Holly Suchman says, so Odin, what my son is saying, the Lego minifig that he's sending will have a He-Man sword. That's amazing. Thank you. Could I make... I'll need to see the Suicide Squad first, Ryan Amy, Arnie, by asking about making a rat catcher mask. Christopher Clayton, any Lord of the Rings props coming? I've only made Saruman's staff. I don't have any others planned at the moment.
Not off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Making... Yeah.
It's more just kind of requests. Thought about making Gruntilda's broomstick or anything from Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is one of those artful, fun games. Never played it, but I can like the art style. So I'm not going to say no.
I had it on one of my phones when, back before I got the iPhone. I had one of my phones that had a Banjo-Kazooie built in. I need to trim off this extra black. You can totally see the line right there.
Yeah, I can totally see the line right there. But it's also sitting in your head much better right now.
Yeah, because
You raised it up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I it would take an effort to actually like, style it as hers, but
Right.
it would do it easily, and it is so much more comfortable having that little piece of fabric there.
Yeah.
Like it's not like feeling uncomfortably sweaty.
Right, because
It's like I have socks on in my shoes.
That is such an apt description. I never even thought about. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a. I already forgot how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. No.
Are you sticking? Oh, that's your thumb. Good. I'm glad you're not sticking to it.
Right.
I was afraid your hair's stuck.
I just can't keep looking at this black line. I have to trim it off.
Okay.
It's bothering me. You know.
As things do. Well, it's 2:00. It's actually past 2:00.
Yeah, it is.
Jeff 3D Model says that is awesome. James Allen, Felicia, nice job on your new video.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited about the one coming up, the August video.
Yes.
Yeah.
The August video does look good. George is saying, yeah, it seems like it's a cash grab. This is talking about Tomorrow War. I totally agree with what you're writing, George. I haven't seen it, but yeah. Yeah. NZ Clay Artist is asking about a gun from District 9. That'd be very cool. I like the, I called it the Protein Disruptor gun, which I think was an old RPG gun. Basically, you could fire this gun and it would leave non-organic material alone, but it would cause protein-based or living material to basically explode, which is kind of what the gun does in District 9. You shoot the person and they just sort of pop. I thought that was a really cool gun and a cool concept. Messy, but we're trimming up. I'm going to give Felicia a chance to finish trimming this.
I know,
But
just so
we're
little.
definitely at the end of today's live stream.
Yes.
We've been going for 3 hours at this point because of the extra stuff for the Patreons in the beginning. So if you want to catch the live stream early every week, please check out patreon.com/Odin Makes. Pretty sure that's how that works. Also, that'll give you access to the Discord, where both of us interact with the comments all the time.
Yeah.
And we play a weekly game. Right now, it's Among Us. We're looking at setting up a Minecraft server. So you get a chance every Friday to stab me in the back in a game, because that's the way the game's played. And I've done some Lego live streams. In a couple of weeks, I might do another one. Right now, I'm getting caught up in a few other things. So those are on hold, but they haven't gone away. But definitely, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you all for your support. Thank you just for watching.
Yes.
Advixen, and I can't remember the other person that did the super chat. Thank you. The super chats are phenomenal. All that really helps. Just subscribing to the channel helps. So if you've done that, thank you. That also helps because views on YouTube is the big thing that we're doing here.
Oh yeah, and like the video on the way out. It does help.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't forget to subscribe. You got 2 videos you can subscribe to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your channel's called?
Behind the Scenes Fashions.
There you go. There is a link in the description for that.
Yeah, and there's 2 videos now because I did the Leia poncho, so that video is now up, and you can learn how to make her poncho.
Mm-hmm.
And then I filmed a project I was working on. I made a Cinderella light-up skirt, so that is now live.
Right.
And between today and August, before August starts, I'm going to release my makeup video that I did for
The Princess Leia makeup.
for the Princess Leia makeup.
Because there's a specific type of makeup, because it was early 80s makeup as opposed to makeup sensibilities in a modern sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I also was noticing that we had 2 different lighting on the cameras.
Yeah, there's different color tones here.
No, completely, but it gives a completely different look. And I was laughing because, in that scene, her makeup changes multiple times, and you assume it's because it's a different day and weight and stuff like that. But also, I'm like, the lighting.
It's the lighting. Lighting does a lot.
A lot. So I'm going to be working on that. But August, I'm coming out with a dress form build.
Oh,
where
right.
I built a dress form for under $20. And it turned out amazing. And I love it. And I use it all the time now. Since I've gotten it, I actually have it.
Okay.
The one problem with my dress form that I had before this one is that it didn't have a solid stand, so working with it was always a pain in the butt. It's heavy, and it leans up against,
Right. This is one that goes all the way to the floor, the one we
Yes.
did Dragon Ball Z with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that dress form. Don't get me wrong, it's my favorite. But having this dress form, it's so much more lightweight and sturdy. It's been nice to work with, so I will be releasing that video in August.
Cool.
So keep an eye out for that.
So thank you all very much. People are still here. What Minecraft? Please have the service details. We need them. Henry, it'll be all posted onto the Discord when it gets set up. Joe's
Working on
spearheading that, working on it, and it's going to be a Patreon only, Discord only perk. So if you want to be part of the community Minecraft server that he's putting together, absolutely. It'll be my first Minecraft game, so we could go. That'll be interesting. George is sending us much love and hands up and Vulcan signs and hang loose and
That's not Vulcan sign. That's
no,
I
that
love
wasn't
you.
one. Yeah, okay, I love you. Fine.
Yeah, or rock on. This is I love you. This is.
May the force be with you. So thank you very much for tuning in to Odin Makes live stream again. I'm Odin.
And I'm Felicia.
And we want to just say thank you so much, and we're going to see you again next week.
Yeah, we'll be working on the cuffs next week.
Next week is cuffs. That'll be noon for the public, 11:15 for those of you who are part of the Patreon. Thank you very, very much.